Just a bloke in a bar.
Welcome to Bloke in a Bar. Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. A very special episode because we've got the great Tom and Eddie and Tom here. It's always special, but I feel like this week is more special. You know, long weekend, Manly seem to be flying. You guys are looking fantastic. 4 on the trot.
Yep.
How was your weekend, boys? You went away. You're looking like you got horizontal a little bit.
I'm grounded, you know. You get over that great dividing range, get home, the air's clear.
Yep.
There's no hum in the air. We've talked about that.
The city hum gone.
The city hum's gone.
Yep.
And you just get down to some good old fashioned living. It was nice. Good family time. Caught up with a couple of mates. Get down to the river. Tonka loves it out there. Goes mad as a snake. He absolutely loves the country air. And I've come back refreshed.
Yep.
Ready to rip and tear. Manly get a big W. A huge W.
Big W.
Assert ourselves as real title contenders, in my opinion, and in good judges' opinions.
Good judges' opinions.
So I'm feeling fucking ready to rip and tear, Tom.
Mate, loved it. Shout out to Easter. One of the great holidays.
Shout out to Easter.
Easter sneaks up on you, and then you go, oh, yeah, I get around this. Fucking chocolate and chilling. Like, I get it. Had a very relaxing time in Tumut, great part of the world, down by the river, Steph's family's place. Came back very relaxed, very refreshed. I am a little tired today, though. I'm on, like, maybe 3 hours sleep.
Kids?
And, yeah, baby's crying. I think, like, if you don't have sleep because you had a big night, you're like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. But when you've been robbed of your right to snooze.
Because you did all the right things.
I did everything I could. Well, like, you know, I could have gone to bed a little earlier maybe, but, like, I did everything right. And to be robbed of an opportunity to just, like, get some Zeds, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Tough life. It's a tough life.
It's a tough
You're
life.
a battler, though. You are a battler.
I am.
You are a battler. I've always said that.
I am wearing sunnies inside. Usually I wear sunnies inside for like a
you're a cool
celebratory
guy.
reason because we're cool, but this
Cool.
one's...
He kept it cool. He keeps it
This
real
one's
cool.
all necessity, baby. My eyes are
No one
red as
keeps it
fuck.
cool like Tom.
Coolest guy in all the land.
Coolest guy in town.
Coolest
in
guy in the
school.
media game, I reckon.
Well, he's certainly right up there.
Yeah.
He'd be right up there. How about you, Denon? Did you have a nice time, mate?
Mate.
Get up north, up to the coast?
No. I
to
stayed
farm.
here.
Back
Got
to the
to watch all the games. Got to watch all the
Can't
games.
watch them up there? They don't have TVs up there.
Not
KO,
really.
mate. Shout out to KO. Live and ad-free during play.
I need to be focused, putting all my notes down for the footy. It's
enough.
weird now. Now I feel like guilty if I miss a game when like it should be fair that I'm allowed to miss a
You're
game.
absolutely allowed to miss a game. I miss plenty. I miss plenty of games. Oh, on the weekend I missed most of them, but did manage to squeeze in Manly.
See, to me, I'd feel like if I miss most of them, I'd feel like I'm coming here naked, literally. Like I'd feel like I may as well sit here naked.
Yes.
Because I've got no.
I will go back and watch KO minis, or I'll just go watch highlights.
God bless KO minis,
Yeah,
though.
dude, thank fuck.
Oh,
for
they're
KO.
unbelievable.
Can I say this? If KO's listening, I've got also another idea for you. Can you have a round mini where you go combine every single game into a fucking 20-minute highlights package or a 30-minute highlight, and just let me watch so I can go, I want
that.
to catch up on the entire fucking round.
Yeah.
It's like in when the Premier League, I don't know if they do it anymore, but like they used to do every goal.
Yes.
You sit down and watch
Yes.
every goal.
Yeah.
Every try, put them all together,
Yeah.
package it up. That'll
Just give me
sell.
everything from the weekend that I need to see, and then I can go bang. All
Or
right, I
like,
missed
this
some
is what
shit.
you missed, or this is
Yeah.
what you need to know.
Do you guys remember, and it's a sad day in our history, when we went from highlights with a voiceover to highlights with no voiceover?
Yes.
Are we?
Yeah,
do we
no one
not
else.
have,
I feel like no one else noticed that.
Do we not have highlights with voiceovers anymore?
Well,
They just
because
put it
one
up.
of them was like a reporting, right?
Yeah, it's like on the weekend, the Dragons put up a big performance, beating the Eels.
Yes.
Whereas now it's just the highlights, no sound.
Really? I've missed that. I have. There are some though.
Bush footy still reported on the right way.
There are some though. There are some people though where you do hear them talking over the highlights. You're like, you know what? This would be better if you weren't here because you suck at it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Well, you need to know when to go out again.
yes.
So like,
come in, piss off, come back in. You just need to be the link play between like, give me context and fuck off. But sometimes they talk over it and.
well,
you
if
know.
Dan Ganane's up and about, let him.
Let Dan Ganane be up and about.
Let him be up and about.
You get out of there so we can hear
Let him
Dan
say his farewells.
give a goodbye.
Exactly.
Do you ever want to get in between a man and his farewell?
No.
That's right. No. Let him fucking run the show. You can lead it up. This is what's happening, and then let him take over.
Yeah.
Don't speak
Yeah.
over him.
Yeah, that's true. That's when you're trying to steal the limelight.
Yeah.
And no one likes that shit.
And no one knows who you are, so just fucking like let
Park
Dan
it. We
be
only know
Dan.
who you are because you told us 3 or 4
Yeah.
times throughout your fucking.
Who do you reckon the
Spiel.
first bloke or Sheila to steal the limelight when people are like, what's going on like right now? Like I thought was about this person, but now it's about you.
Did anyone try and steal the limelight off Jesus?
Pontius Pilate?
Pontius Pilate? Did he do it?
I don't know. Maybe. I really don't know.
No, I'm just thinking,
I don't think so.
In terms of limelight, did God try to steal the limelight from his son?
I think he let his boy have his time, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't know if he did or he didn't. I'm asking questions here.
Well, you're asking questions we don't have the answer to.
Yeah.
But in terms of the first person to steal the limelight, I think it would have been a shock to the senses. Because the stealing of limelight is still abrasive.
Yeah.
It's offensive to the mind, the body, the soul.
Yeah.
So the first time it was done, I think you would have seen some fainting.
Don't come after my limelight.
I think you would have seen some people blacking out.
What's lime? What's lime?
Yeah,
Why is lime
limelight.
involved in it?
Yeah, where's that come from?
Because like light is obviously not green.
No, it's not green. And lime's not necessarily
Limelight.
Yeah, maybe it's like lime means something different. For example, I was reading today, jungle in Hindu actually means like open space.
Okay, well that's just madness.
That doesn't make
And so
sense.
that's why when they say, you know, the king of the jungle, and obviously like the lions are the king of the jungle, people go, that makes no sense. But it does make sense because in Hindu...
Right, because the lion doesn't fuck with the jungle.
Right,
in our sense of the word.
Our sense
lions
of
are the king of just open space.
Well, they were the king of the plains.
The savannas.
Look, the
King
lion...
of the plains.
Yeah, I'm getting you. No, I'm getting you.
You know the plains.
I don't know if this is true, but where at Steph's family, in
Whereas
fact,
tigers are the king of the jungle.
they could be.
In our definition.
Our jungle.
Yeah.
On point, you know, like the term like on point is on point. Like, I believe,
Ballet term?
no. Well, could be. I think it's to do with dogs because on the farm, they had a pointer, like a, what do they call it, a Hungarian Vizsla or some shit. But like, they go hunting all the time. And we were just in the kitchen, and then Steph's uncle was like looking at them, and he's like, "Oi, fucking Pepper's on point." And I'm like, "What the fuck are we talking about here?" And like when the dogs are like see an animal that like, you know, there's a deer over there, there's a snake, whatever, they like get into this position that's like indicating to you where it is. And that was, they were using that term. Oh, he's on point. He's on point. And I was like, oh,
You know what? I'll have my theory, and then we'll find out about the on point. I reckon it's
Mine's ballet.
ballet. I like that. I reckon it's army related. You're at like the point of the, like I'm on point, so I might be the leader going in first or whatever.
Do you think that the army could have stolen it from dogs?
Oh, 100%. I'm open to that.
Possibly.
Or from ballerinas.
Now, you haven't given any explanation as to why you think ballet. Just, are you talking about just on your toes? Or just like,
Yeah.
I'm pointing my toes? Is
Like
that
I'm on point.
Yeah.
okay? So
fair.
are the tippy toes in ballet,
Yeah.
or army, or
What do you got
dogs?
there, Matty?
So, very interesting. They've got two. So the army is the first one, dates back to the 1880s when a person on point when stationed at their post or standing guard.
Nice.
But then it says the second concerns ballet, with the dancer on point when balanced on the tip of their toes.
No
Wow, and I didn't have anything.
That is a great
That's
fucking
huge,
call. That's
dude.
huge.
It's Michael Pride's bet, and then that for me.
That was fucking huge because it
Jesus.
sounded insane.
It sounded ridiculous. And I'm sitting here, nothing.
You're right. You
Not a mention of a dog.
No, dogs weren't mentioned.
What would you like to know? What where limelight comes
Yeah,
from?
I actually... Well, yeah, I don't have anything with limelight. Nothing
No,
at all.
no, no.
Lime must mean something else to what I think it means.
You know what I think it is? Maybe rocks, like the lime rocks maybe, and the light would reflect off them, if that even is a thing.
Limestone.
Limestone?
Would it reflect off lime?
Well, I don't know. Look, I'm just
Yeah, I
throwing it
know.
out
I know
there.
what you mean.
So
maybe it's a French word.
Yes.
Lime doesn't sound French.
in the early 1820s, English inventor Goldsworthy Gurney, improving on the work of earlier scientists, developed a blowpipe that burned hydrogen and oxygen to create an extremely hot flame. When he heated the calcium oxide in the flame, it produced an intense white light, dubbed limelight.
Wow. But like, what is lime?
Isn't that interesting that that
Yeah.
becomes like a
Just a term.
very widely used term?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And stealing
Wow.
the limelight.
Stealing the limelight. Why would you?
Well, maybe someone stole his fucking invention.
Maybe someone stole his limelight.
He's fucking invented
Literally
the
stole
limelight.
it.
I think someone stole his limelight.
He's gone fucking
That's
stolen
what's
his
happened.
limelight. And then it was a travesty. Everyone got around it and said, you know what? Anytime something important has been stolen, we say stolen the limelight.
I like how we get into sayings here.
Etymology.
Etymology. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a follow-up. So that's when the light was invented, but then they used that same flame to like light up theatres. Like that was what they used, and then then
Maybe
that,
is it then used
He's
in a
stealing
theatre
the limelight.
context?
That's what it is. Because then he's stealing my limelight. Like he's going off script and stealing my...
Yeah.
And the spotlight as well on the stage. Would
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Well, like the
Yeah.
Like,
lights
it's like I
on
just
the-
imagine some guy brushing them
Yeah.
out. We're going... And then singing
wow.
the notes.
Singing the songs.
What do you reckon?
Wow. It's great stuff.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
with you.
thought you would.
Nah,
What, you got something else there, Matt? Or
No.
All good, mate. Well
You're doing
done.
a good job to start, though, mate.
Great.
That was really good stuff.
Great stuff.
Good Dioring.
Stop stealing the limelight, though. 12 stores in Spotlight. Caxton Hotel on tap. Harry Brown's Liquor Barn at Eaton's Hill. Stafford Tavern. Newtown Hotel Toowoomba. Louis Liquor Barn in Cairns. Drive-through at Rocklear Hotel Brisbane. Celebrations Kringilla. The Icon Wollongong on tap. IGA Erskine Park. IGA Bundina. IGA Junee. Is that Junee? Is that correct?
Junee, yeah.
Junee, the home of the great Ray Warren. And Celebrations Bungadore.
Also, I think home of the great Laurie Daly, but
Correct.
I believe so.
Boom.
There's a statue of Ray out there, Junee.
there's also a turn. I
deserves
went
it.
past the Junee turnoff.
He does.
When I was going to Tumut.
Boom. And you thought,
Junee.
that's where Ray Warren's from.
Junee, Ray Warren, and Laurie Daly.
Did you tell the missus? And she was like, I don't care.
She was asleep.
Okay.
It was.
I
we
would've
drove
woken
it.
her up.
Yeah, they got to wake her up for that.
No, I know, but
That's
I
a
think
wake up.
That's disrespect to
definitely-
rugby league.
Yeah,
you wake her
well.
up.
yeah, I know.
What would the
You
great
gotta-
Ray Warren say to that?
Look, Ray's a friend. I
He
think
is a
Ray'd
friend.
understand.
Exactly. Well, that makes it worse.
He don't. No, listen.
Exactly.
there's-
Should respect your friends.
Yeah, but listen, as you know, when you are sleep deprived, well, you don't know. Only one with kids here. Sorry to bring it up. Don't know if you knew that, but you don't rob sleep. You don't rob sleep from your significant other if you can avoid it. Unless it's like a fire.
Yeah, okay. That's like because like some people are the opposite. Is like, motherfucker, if I'm up, you're up.
Yeah, that's not the way to a healthy relationship. I think you need to. It's a give and take. Sometimes you're both up. Sometimes one is. Sometimes one isn't. I'm often not up.
So you don't prescribe to one in, all in?
No.
One all in.
I think it's
every
more
man for
like,
himself.
No, well, it's more like, get some sleep because then the time will come when you need some sleep and you're like, it's better to have one of you operating at a higher frequency than both of you. Like we were both fucking rattled today. It was like we're zombies in the house.
What's with long car rides or plane rides that take it out of you? Like I don't get it.
Take it out of you.
The
dude.
motion
I don't get it.
fucks with you.
Yeah, and you're rattled for a day or two. Like every time when I fly back from Goldie on Thursday Arvo, then I roll into the Matty Johns on Friday. By Saturday, I am just like fucked, like super tired. But when you think about it, it's like, bro, you've just been sitting on a plane.
You're
you
sitting
cat.
on a plane for like an hour.
Yeah, stop being a
Long
cat.
haul flights fuck you up.
Yeah, they do fuck you up.
But no
Long-haul
one else
flights-
gets it. Like, no one else in the world gets what we go through.
Well, they-
They're like, oh, yeah, 24 hours. What are you fucking on about?
Yeah, they
like,
think we're
3 hours for
psychos.
them is
Yeah.
like massive.
True.
It's because your body takes in less oxygen.
This motherfucker is
Wow,
on fire
you're on
today.
fire today,
you
bro.
are just, you come in ready to
Yeah,
rip.
ready to go,
mate.
bro. And this is his third podcast for the week as well.
Wow.
Announcing the winner of last week's player of the round. He literally said, it's Tom Duggan, and he said, Jackson Hastings to upset the Eels, quote,
Ooh,
unquote.
Nostradamus.
That is a great fucking knock.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus.
Not Notre Dame.
Well, I said Nostradamus, and I realised I
Notre
forgot the
Dame.
S, and I was like, fuck it.
Well, Notre Dame a place.
Do you know what I mean?
And you know what?
Notre Dame.
Nostradamus.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
us. That's his name.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus.
Notre.
No, it's
The crazy thing is he would have predicted that he would have got his name wrong, so I think
that's
it would have
true.
been okay
He
with
would
it.
have been.
And he didn't care.
No,
He didn't care, 'cause he would have-
Sorry.
Otherwise, he would have mentioned it.
Yeah.
That's true. He doesn't mind. It's a great point. You made.
And it actually brings up a point I wanted to talk about. Is there any better feeling when you're on YouTube, you're just enjoying your time, and you come across a brand new YouTube channel you've never heard of, and it's got years of content on it?
I
You're
fucking
like,
love it.
This is the best fucking channel ever.
Yes, it hasn't happened to me for a while. To be
Happened
honest.
to me today.
Okay.
What'd you find?
It's called Mixed Molly Whoppery, and it's like mini docos on like UFC fighters and that.
Ooh,
It is fucking sick. It's so
okay.
good. Talks about like the Masvidal Colby Covington thing, but they're like
that.
It's not like a boring mixed doc of like, oh, what am I doing in the house? It's like huge topics that have happened in MMA, and then analysing those topics, like the Conor McGregor, Khabib
Yeah,
thing,
okay.
the Colby Covington fucking Masvidal thing, the Ngannou thing.
That's cool. I like
Really cool.
that.
Mixed Molly Whoppery.
I remember when I found Fighter and the Kid.
Yes.
And I was like, holy shit, dude. That was almost like the first online podcast I think I ever found where they were like the videos and all that sort of shit. Now, unfortunately, don't watch it. But yeah, and you're like, you've just got this back catalogue to just pound through.
JRE was my first Joe Rogan experience.
I fucking found weirdly Fighter and the Kid before Rogan.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, that would have been a while ago.
Rogan was obviously still killing it. I didn't have any visibility on the fact that it was going on.
You could have that same feeling if you find the Hello Sport YouTube as well. Like if you just stumble across, you'd be like, oh my.
Sport, shit. And then you go, wait, where are the first 70 episodes? And you go, oh, we
Not telling.
scrubbed the internet of them long before you fucks arrived.
we will release them.
Make him an NFT.
Well,
Dude,
that's I don't know
that's
how
actually a good idea.
I
And
don't
if you-
understand how that works.
Well,
but
we
I'll
can
do
look into it.
Yeah.
Look into it. Tobler will, but you know what I mean.
Someone's going to.
Someone is.
So someone can own the first 70 episodes.
Or maybe you just own
Each
individual
episode.
ones.
Yeah, individual one.
Number one would go for a pretty penny.
Oh, wouldn't it?
I wonder if Joe
You'd be
Rogan
disappointed.
NFT'd.
Or would you? Actually pretty good. We listened to it the other day. Not
The
other
very
day.
first one we ever did.
Yeah.
We hold
Called
up.
Pipe Dreams.
Yeah,
Called
that's
Pipe
what we used to
Dream?
call.
That's
we thought we would
poetic.
call Pipe Dreams.
That is fucking poetic. Pipe dreams, like it's romantic. It works. It's documentary ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doco
all-
ready.
it's all
That's
ready.
documentary
She's doco
ready.
ready. Not filmed,
Already.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
but
It's
all
doco
right.
ready.
I can think of the slow music, the battler. Like we're gonna give it a crack,
Yeah.
and we called it Pipe Dreams.
Called it
It's
Pipe
recorded
Dreams.
on our computer sitting at a
Undisclosed
dining
location.
table.
Okay, dining
At
table.
home, yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to have the security cameras up though.
Well, yeah. No. We've managed to duplicate the recording so that even if we were robbed, we will have it.
You
Somewhere.
won't be held hostage over the recording.
No.
Well, if we haven't duplicated, we intend to.
We haven't.
I don't know.
Oh shit.
Probably not.
Any great YouTube channels you found? Are you a YouTube man?
Not a massive YouTube man.
What
no.
man are you?
I'm podcast.
Potty man?
Yeah.
What's your go-to right now, potties?
The Daily, Joe Rogan.
You're still a Rogan man?
Yeah. I still listen to
Are you
it.
still a Rogan
Yeah,
man?
I'm still a Rogan man.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Are
I
you a
still
Rogan
listen.
man?
But depending on who's talking,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
listen to
yeah,
all
yeah.
of them.
Not
No
really.
way.
I listen to Business Wars religiously.
You listen to what?
Business Wars.
Yeah, don't pretend to be smart, bro.
Business Wars. Yeah, The Economist. Woo.
No. It's
Yeah, I
like
listen to The Economist every now and then.
no. It's like for example, Nike versus Adidas or ESPN versus Fox
So
Sports.
it's called
Oh,
business,
that's cool.
business sport.
Business Wars.
Business wars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. You
That's
should
Actually
definitely
sounds interesting.
yeah, that actually sounds
Business
really good.
Wars, like
Yeah.
that.
You're having a great performance. and
You
it's
are actually
making it
having
a bit weird, to be honest.
Fantastic day.
Good for you, buddy.
You
Yeah.
never know when your best performance is coming.
Really.
And obviously it's not finished yet, so let's hope you continue. But you're really on.
You are coming. I've been
Really
listening to 100% footy after we talked about it the other week.
Okay, I saw on fucking Fox last night Matty Johns and Cooper Cronk. And like, I don't listen to it very often. I don't know if it's a regular thing they do, but I just happened across it because I was pounding NRL 360 into the core of the earth like I do with a nice tequila.
Shout out to Braithen Astor.
Shout out to Braithen Astor, who I really like on the show. But then the Matty Johns and Cooper Cronk one just rolled in afterwards. And I was like, just hearing those two elite halves get so balls deep into like the most granular shit about like decision making and like the intelligence of halves and like why you do it as like, do you know why you did that pass as opposed to just doing it for the fucking sake of it? I was like, holy shit, dude, hook this to my veins.
Matty Johns is just the fucking absolute goat.
But Cronk's actually, like, Cronk's not a charisma machine, no disrespect to Cooper, but
Doesn't need to be.
He doesn't need to be. When you put him in the like, here, dude, be this like autistic, intensely intelligent rugby league half, and you're like, just hearing them both go off each other. Because also when it started, I was like, you almost see Matty and Cooper and you still think of Matty as the alpha in a rugby league sense because he's Matty Johns, but you're like, oh, Cooper's actually the fucking
Bee's knees.
one of the greatest halfbacks of all time.
Yeah.
And just hearing them both break down like just these really intricate things, I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do it all the time.
No, they don't. They don't.
They should do
every
it
now
all the
and then.
fucking time. Or maybe they
may
shouldn't do
start.
it all the time.
It
And
should,
maybe they
that
do
should
it
be.
for like,
I haven't listened to it yet because he's spinning the yarn in the car. It'll be fucking pounded to within an inch of its life
Yeah.
later today. But I would like to think that shit is weekly.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
because
It'd be
like
so
there's
sick.
no,
So
there's
sick.
like, there's lots of like, there's rugby league analysis, you know, but like from many places you could say, you know, you do rugby league analysis, fucking Phil Gould does rugby league, like there are places where rugby league analysis is done, like a lot of content, but this like
specific,
really nerdy shit where you're just like, oh my God, this is hectic.
What I find crazy is like, think about all the different shows Matty Johns has done and they're all high quality. Like that's how talented he is. Like anyone he has on, he can have good chemistry with and create a mad fucking show.
He's a fantastic media person.
Well, that's why he's the best in the business.
Yeah, but that's also the thing
that's
as
why
well.
He gets the big bucks.
Matty's really funny, you know what I mean? So he's got that funny side to him, but then when he gets serious, you're like, oh, dude, your rugby league brain's
You're actually a fantastic
so
six.
hectic.
Like he was a fantastic half.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll check that. I've seen it before, but I haven't seen this week's episode. What were your thoughts on Brooks moving to 6 from 7?
I think it worked.
Sound like it worked.
I think it worked. I think it worked well. I think it worked really well.
Yeah. You know what?
I think it was terrific.
If I can give some nuanced rugby league opinion,
please.
That isn't it all parroted directly from Cooper Cronk and Matty John's chat on the podcast? But just they were saying, because again, I don't know what I'm seeing, right? I just see what I'm seeing. But I don't know.
You're saying that it's working.
I see that it's working, but I don't know what I'm saying.
Points. That's
I'm
what
like,
you're saying.
oh, they scored a try.
You know what's funny is I can imagine like you now every week rocking up and you've got this like crazy in-depth like, and we're like, fuck it, where does this knowledge come
well,
from?
You should have told us.
Like, I should have just gone, you know what, Jackson Hastings taking control.
I think the comments would have taken over.
Jackson Hastings taking control at first receiver. It just actually frees up Luke Brooks. Gives him maybe just because Luke Brooks, obviously, we know he can play, right? We know he can play, but sometimes it's his decision-making. And so if Hastings is freeing up Luke Brooks to give him maybe like 2 seconds more time, and you just saw him really making. Like he had some real try involvements on the weekend, and you just saw that couple extra seconds allow Luke Brooks to be Luke Brooks, and it was great to watch.
Mate, you got a great footy mind on you.
And that's all off the back of Hastings getting the first seed.
Well, yeah. Well, what he's doing is he's just holding the attention of the 3-man, I think, Eddie, a little bit more. And so it's just given, and then giving the ball and giving Luke some time.
Well, that's where it starts. All around the 3-man.
Yeah, around the 3-man.
Just drawing the 3-man in, plenty of attention.
Holding the ruck, bringing the 3-man in, then bang.
Like it.
Yeah.
So you love Brooks to 6.
Mate, I love Brooks to 6. Yeah, it was
what
impressive.
A take.
Yeah.
What a take.
That's good stuff.
That's great stuff. I don't know where this fucking... You've been hiding from us,
Listen,
Tom.
man, like I know I'm fucking
well, he's up all night. That's why he didn't sleep. He's blamed it on the kids, but he's doing the fucking
video. He's doing my research, man.
He was analysing the Tigers game.
Yeah. First time I've analysed
comes
the
in
Tigers
like a
game.
Storm jersey or like a Roosters jersey, and he's like, we're like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, no, nothing. Just been listening to fucking Matty Johns give Cronk.
I'm actually a halves coach at the Storm at the moment.
Look, obviously I've spoken about this already, but it absolutely worked. I was just stoked to see him. You see the boys celebrating him in the changing room?
Lovely.
Mate,
lovely stuff.
Think about, like, imagine yourself in Brooks's shoes. Like, just imagine a day in the life of Brooksy, and like, yeah, of course he gets paid a lot, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But like, the pressure that you would be under.
It's fucking immense, mate.
Crazy.
Like,
crazy.
And we all talk shit.
It's all anyone talks about. It's all you fucking...
You can't escape it.
You can't escape it. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You get home, you put your feet up after a long day of training.
And all you want to do is watch NRL 360.
And all you want to do is...
As a player.
Well,
you just want to flick on NRL 360.
And all you want to do is not have them talk about you.
Yeah.
And every night, it's the same old fucking thing.
Mate,
Is he up to it? Is he up to it?
But even like
up to it?
little things, like every person he meets in public, they would say to him, oh, you know, how do you reckon you guys will turn it around? You know, what are you going to do to, like, even just randoms on the street? Like, and it's fair enough, fans can speak to him. Like, Boyd Cordner on the podcast, he was like, the toughest thing about when I was going through my head knock stuff is I couldn't escape it. Like, even people coming up to me and saying, mate, hope you're all right. It's just a reminder, Bob.
Yeah.
It's just it just keeps reminding you and putting you in that mind frame of like, oh, I've got a big fucking problem on my hands.
Yeah.
Well, I like to think Brooks wouldn't, like, during the last 6 weeks, surely he didn't go out and about, or if he did, he needed a disguise.
Well,
because people would just be fucking India.
But are people going to be hounding you in the street if you're playing shit?
Well,
Like,
it's not necessarily
handing,
hounding,
it's just it's the constant, like, if he's trying to escape it.
Good luck this week, mate.
Well, no, even little things like, say, like I go into a pub, I buy a beer, and he goes, oh, what do you, like, they'll ask, like, oh, reckon you'll get a win this week, mate? Like, turn things around, little things like that, which it's not their fault.
Or they start giving them, like, tips.
Advice.
Well, I mean, it's a spectrum, right? You'd be getting people barking at you. You'd be getting people giving you, their opinion. This is how I want you playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be everything.
I had one dude. The only time I've had a negative like fan interaction was like probably a year ago, and I was walking into a footy, just going to local footy, just wanted to watch a footy, And then he was like, hey, Dan and Kemp. And I was like, just put my hand up, like say hi. And he was like, fuck you, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I was like,
thank you.
Okay. Like you called out 20 meters away in front of everyone, and then you have an issue with me. And then so I'm walking past there's all, I guess,
Fuck you.
footy players sitting there and they're like filming or whatever, like, oh yeah, big, like give me a high five. And he started talking shit again. I was like, what the hell? Like this guy is just bizarre.
Did you engage in the double unders? What do we do?
No, we didn't go hooks. We didn't go double underhooks. You just got to avoid it. You just ignore it.
Could have hooked him though.
Look, if he wanted to fucking take a trip to Hooktown, he could have, but he didn't.
Hooked the fuck out of him, dude. They're remaking Hook. Yeah. It's just Denon.
And it's just Denon.
Double underhooking people.
Someone put that on a poster.
Make that a
double underhooking Peter Pan.
Well, it's
double underhook.
The Hook poster, but
yeah, it's Denon double underhooking Peter Pan. Or Hook himself. Denon takes down Hook.
Or Peter Pan. Either. Both work.
Yeah.
But that field goal at the end by Hastings was chef's kiss, bro.
Dude, it was nice stuff. Good. It was so good.
40 out.
Like
Beautiful. I was
obviously everyone was tipping the Eels unless you were fucking Michael Pride, but like
walk us through that bet for the punter and the dribbler.
Well,
that may
so
have missed
on
it.
About even Michael Pride,
and we'll get the clip up, please.
I like the Tigers to win, and Nofaluma to score 2 tries. $57.63. I think the Tigers win.
That might be the worst.
I really think they win.
That could be the worst bet in the history of the show.
Clip this up now. I think they're going to win. I think just clip it, have it there ready. He's actually not very good at rugby league betting. It's not his thing, but for whatever reason, he was like, I've got the Tigers to win and Northland to score 2 or more tries, and we bagged the fuck out of him.
He was sitting right there.
Yeah, and he was like, no. He goes, I really like the Tigers. I'll win this week. Really like
and use applied pressure too.
And I was that's the worst rugby league bet of all time.
And I was like, clip this up, Sebo. He's a fucking idiot. And he
had Norfoluma 2 or more as well. Like it was just $56 at pay.
Yeah.
Home and hose.
He hasn't told us what he won.
And he didn't waver. That's what I loved about it. There wasn't a second of him going, yeah, I know it's a shit bet. Like, I would fence sit that.
Yeah.
I'd fence sit that every day of the week. I'd be like, oh, boys, it's $56. Like, fuck, what
it's easy to fence it.
Yeah. Whereas he just said, he was just like,
I think it's the greatest rugby league bet of all time. And, some people say there might be better ones, but there's the pressure of being on the show as well. And it was just arsey as fuck.
And to think, like, even if the Tigers are on top of the ladder, it is still hard to bet on a bloke to score 2 or more tries.
100%.
He did that on the worst start to West Tigers history in a game against the Eels, who were flying high.
Who were red hot.
Hot.
On their day, 75th anniversary. Like, they've got all the fucking greats down there celebrating and remembering fond memories. You know what I mean?
Look,
in front of a packed house at Parramatta Stadium.
If you hate the Eels, it made it sweeter.
It doesn't get any better.
It made it sweeter that it was the 75th anniversary and you lost to the Tigers. I don't hate the Eels. I'm saying if you did hate the Eels, then that would be a satisfying
Did you take any... I mean, because you guys... I think you equally abused Tigers and Eels. Did you feel pleasure in watching the Eels go down?
I took pleasure out of that.
I reached completion.
I actually liked the Tigers.
You like the Tigers?
More than the Eels.
Yeah, more than the Eels.
Why is the Eels someone that's... It's just...
I don't know. They just get under my skin.
I think it's like... I mean, I don't know what it is either, actually.
It's like the Broncos to a lot of...
You know what it is as well, partially, is that I think... They never win the comp, so it's easy. Like their reaction, some of the Eels fans get like really salty when you talk shit. So it's kind of like, I'm going to keep doing that.
Tigers fans are more submissive. They go, we get it.
Yeah.
They're like, I know, we know.
What can we do?
They get it.
I would love to find out like who is like the most aggressive fans. Like I would love to really find that out of like, if you did like an experiment of like spend 1 week bagging one team, the next week, and then see what the biggest backlash is.
Just read the comments.
And just, see, like, this week, Broncos are a bunch of this, that, next thing, see what the fans say.
Yeah.
Then, like, Panthers are a bunch of this, that, see what the fans say.
We aren't equal opportunity in terms of who we spray, but the Eels certainly...
Well, they just dish it up for you. They got the
Dragons
longest. They're in the longest drought in the comp, so it's just easy.
And it's actually because they are good. If they weren't good...
there'd be a Tigers fan going, no, well, we suck.
Just be like,
whatever. Because they're there or thereabouts, and then they continually don't win.
And they're right there.
Yeah, it'd be hard to be that close to like success and just continually not have it.
I reckon this year that they're there. I reckon they're ready. I know they lost on Monday. I reckon they're ready though.
If they're going to win, it's going to be this year.
Yeah, for sure. This is the best they've looked in forever.
Yeah, and that's
They're
the
not
thing,
going to win
but
without
also-
Red Marnie next year, I don't think.
No,
Yeah.
but that's also the thing, though,
yeah.
right? When they started
I don't
ripping,
think-
Yeah, Hodgson.
But what do I fucking know?
but when they started
This
ripping
guy
this
knows a
year,
lot. Fuck.
I know shitloads. I like seeing them, like when they're doing well, it's like the fickle nature of any sports fan. It's like I don't have any issue with the Eels players, right? So it's like when they're
Love
playing
their-
well,
love their players,
Dylan
yeah.
Brown's ripping, Moses ripping, Guthrie, like this is sick. I still like to watch this. But then when they lose, I'm like, oh, you guys fucking suck.
I like watching the Eels play.
Yeah.
They play exciting brand.
look,
And I love their players, but it's just the collective. It's the collective.
I think if you got this far into the podcast and you don't know that the boys is all just tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
We don't know what we're talking about.
You
I
don't
know
have
a little
clue.
bit more.
it's all tongue in cheek, boys. I actually got sprayed on in the comment section yesterday. Like I copped friendly fire from you guys. So in the sense of, so someone in the comment section was like, that I'd rather Denner not even talk about the Eels because all he does is bag them. And then he wrote another comment. He's like, all he does is bag him. He doesn't tip him, doesn't show any respect. And I was like, what? I fucking always rap the Eels. And then
Nah, you
someone
bag 'em,
further
dude.
down was like, I think you might be talking about the Hello Sport boys. You've got your guess wrong.
Mate, Burmo put up a fucking great tweet the other day. It was no teams lost to the Tigers and won the comp. And people are going, yeah, they have. It's like, bruh.
Dude, people are going through
Come
like every
on,
season and
mate.
finding teams when they lost and won the comp. I'm like, and I just keep going, nah, you're incorrect. This is clearly photoshopped. They're like, fucking no, it's not. I'm like, are you serious?
That's the hardest thing. If you just go, nah, and you don't care,
No.
it
Yeah.
hurts even more.
Yeah, 'cause you
you're
go-
like, I'm telling the truth.
You said,
You're
"No,
not.
you're
I'm
lying,
just like,
dude."
how do you follow us and not?
know that we're
no.
taking the piss.
And this isn't fucking
Clearly
registering, bro.
photoshopped. Just clearly photoshopped.
Oh,
Factually incorrect.
Anyway, great fucking win for the Tigers. Good to see. I tell you what, really warmed my heart all the way up. Madge, just
Yeah.
that primal scream at the end when they get the W.
Yeah.
It was good for the soul.
that was pent up.
That was
because I've been
Guttural.
carrying a lot of like Madge anxiety with me the last couple of weeks, and I didn't realise I had been.
Yeah.
And in those final moments when they keep crossing the box,
Yeah.
and I'm just seeing him, and then they're going, like I think it was at one point where Hastings shapes to kick, then kicks it dead. I'm like, oh my god, 7 tackles set.
And then when Moses has the
And
shot,
then-
you're going, oh, this is done.
Yeah,
and
done.
he's going to
and
hit
then
it, and then
he
he
missed
lose.
it. I'm like, did he call that wrong? Is that going over? And then when they march all the way back up and he kicks that fucking field goal, he's just, it just all
Madge
pours
based
out of him.
anxiety
yeah.
really was
If they
released.
lost that game, I would have feared for Madge.
Well, he would have been sacked. That's like what everyone was talking about, like that he was going to be in some hot curry.
Well, I think the commentators at the start of the game he basically said they got to win or Madge gets sacked, and I was like, whoa, that's aggressive. Like you really
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I know.
We don't really know that for sure. But I like the Madge-based anxiety. I think a lot of Tigers fans would be sitting on therapist chairs going, I think I've realised what the anxiety has been.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Madge-based.
it was Madge.
It's poor bloke.
Madge-based, yeah,
Because like
yeah.
whether you love or hate Madge, you can't help but feel for the bloke. Like he works his dick off.
If
He
you,
doesn't
if
seem
you,
like a guy you can really hate.
Nah, for
not
sure,
like
but-
either.
but
Like,
you know
he's
what I
a
mean,
didn't
like,
feel for
dude.
him in the last couple of weeks in the press conferences, him in the box like in tears and shit. If you didn't feel anything,
You don't love
then
rugby
you
league.
should be locked up.
But I also love, again, fickle nature of rugby league fans or rugby league media or everyone. But it's like in the media, they're talking about like I'm pretty sure on NRL 360, either straight after the game or last night, they were like, could they make the 8? Like they're 0 and fucking.
Oh, I love that.
They're 0 and 5, and
That's
then it
good
was like,
stuff.
could they make the 8? Should Jackson Hastings be captain?
See,
Well, I'm not
I-
saying he shouldn't. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but you're just like, oh, okay, that's a.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you who made the top 4 0 and 4. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not possible.
Well, but are they us?
No, they're not. I'm just saying that's probably where they're getting that from.
They've
You know
got
what I mean?
Manly can do it.
Manly can do it.
Manly
you know.
do it all the time.
Now, do you believe this is proof that this year that competition is much closer?
It's way closer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this year, essentially any team could maybe beat any other team. Like I know the Broncos got beaten substantially, but that first 60 minutes, and it sounds like a cop-out, it still was a very competitive game.
Broncos are not the Broncos of last year.
No way,
Broncos are
no
a
way.
better
And I
side.
even think the Doggies as well.
Yeah,
I felt
for
like
sure.
they had Rabbitohs a bit on the ropes and maybe the first half. And I know people are going to be like, well, it's only half a footy. But last year, it wasn't even half a footy. It was literally getting on the field and just getting pounded into the dirt for 80 minutes.
I think it's a much better brand of footy this year in that the results are closer.
And that was
Because it builds narrative.
That was
right?
the best
like
game
that
of the
game,
year.
like last year it's probably 40-0, and you don't get that finish. You know what I mean?
But that would be for me the best game of the year.
Comfortable.
And it's like the game that everyone thought was going to be absolute pound town. Tigers just get humped to death.
Good judges saying it could be 50-0.
60. I had
70.
Eels 30 plus in my bet. And like
Again,
4
good
try
judges.
scorers.
That's what good judges.
Yeah, good judges. Great judges. Anyway, so it was, as soon as I saw that it was going the other way, I was straight on the Tigers. I'm like, fucking oath, let's go.
Yeah, great win. Congratulations, Tigers fans. Definitely earned it. Fuckies have been like.
They played well though.
They played good footy.
That was it as
and
well.
They ripped and teared.
Not to parrot my good friend Cooper Cronk, but he was like, even Cooper was saying, he was like, the Eels didn't play that bad. It wasn't like Eels played really shit. Tigers just sort of like, got there. It was actually just the Tigers played pretty fucking well.
Tigers ambushed them. Good old-fashioned ambush. Also, the NRL has come out and said, I tell you what, I feel like we've entered a new phase where the NRL will just like throw ideas out there to see like what is the reaction. Whereas back in the day, it was like very in-house, like what's happening, don't talk about it. So the NRL has essentially come out and said they want to take a game to the USA next year at the start of the season, and it most likely would be Manly versus Rabbitohs. What do you guys think of this?
Firstly, if that does happen, can as a business we write off flights to the US to go and watch that game, or do we just get the club to fly us?
Well, I think first port of call would be the club to fly us, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
If that was to fail, seems unlikely, you would be able to write off the flights, and the accommodation and the piss and the,
Everything else.
Everything.
The fun.
Okay, terrific.
Hotel
I feel
Vegas.
like they do throw out like this sort of shit.
This comes up
is this
every
like
now
a bit
and
of a
then.
North Sydney Bears sort of thing, where it's like, the NRL wants to take a game to the US, don't they?
Didn't they
Always want to
play an
take a game to
Origin there once?
Yeah, they did
Ages
back in
ago.
the 80s. or
Ages
some
ago?
shit.
Yeah,
Sterlo played.
in California, but it didn't actually count. It was an exhibition game.
It was a fourth
okay.
game. Was it a fourth game?
Fourth game, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Imagine the boys, they would have been half pissed in the fourth game.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck of it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like they throw it out regularly, but do you feel the NRL throw out ideas more though, or no? You don't think that?
Maybe they do. I think like Vlandis just seems to be that way inclined.
Shoot from the hip kind of guy.
Yeah,
It's like fuck it,
Say something,
see what happens.
see how people feel.
I
Not to say he's not calculated
I
as
think
well.
he's certainly an ideas guy. I think he tries to push the envelope.
Yes.
Right. I think
Yeah,
that
for sure.
that's probably part of his MO. Like, look what he's done to racing and all the new races he brought in, like Everest and
What's this? He's bringing in another one, isn't he?
Bringing in
on
another
Melbourne
one.
Cup Day or some shit.
Yeah,
How does
bringing
this
on-
guy work? Like he has 24 hours in the day, like everyone else.
Yeah.
But he does so much shit.
It's
Dude,
crazy.
he works so hard he doesn't have time to tuck in his shirt.
He must delegate well.
Yes.
Yeah, delegate. He must, because there's like Elon Musk. Elon Musk delegate really well.
Yeah, he must. He must, yes.
Elon
But,
Musk.
I can see Vlandis sitting down with,
Biden?
with Biden going, let's make it happen. I was going to say with Abdo going, we need to keep fucking moving forward.
Surely
moving
this
forward.
surely he goes straight to the top. He's
yeah.
not fucking
I reckon
around.
Straight to Biden?
Yeah. Straight
Sure.
to Biden.
Well, he
I
probably
can-
just goes, oi, Joe. Joe's in bed.
Sleepy Joe. Is Sleepy awake?
Yeah.
Or he just goes, oi, Illuminati,
Oi, Illuminati, CIA.
CIA, Freemasons.
Yeah.
Sure. Freemason.
Special handshake.
Illuminati, yeah.
Can we get a footy game in America?
Not even can we. I need a stadium.
Set it up.
You know where they should have it?
Where?
Vegas.
Oh, fuck. No, they shouldn't, because you know what? The amount of scandals that would come out of there.
That's
Oh,
true. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, that's good for the
coverage,
game.
yeah.
Mate, I went to Vegas end of
Good
season
for the
trip.
game.
It's good for the game.
I went
The
to Vegas.
Mayo coming out, bro.
Yeah.
It'd be an extravaganza.
Send Buzz over there with them.
Oh, yeah. Buzz gets over.
Kenzie goes, Buzz goes, Hoops
Hoops
go.
goes.
They all fucking go.
Brace over there.
Ripping and tearing. It'd be good stuff.
And just
NRL 360 around a poker
Lights,
table.
dazzle, you know what I mean? Leagueies in Vegas. Should this be allowed? No, it shouldn't, but we are doing it. Well,
Dude, we're
you know.
100% going.
Like, you know what? Yeah, they go over there and whilst they're over there and the game's about to happen the night before, they say, should the players be fined for being in Vegas? That's the topic of the
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, exactly.
Like, the Mayo coming out of it is just, you get a year's supply right there and then. It's good for the soul. And it's like a bit of a gimmick as well. What's
Oh,
more
it's
gimmicky than
very
Vegas? Nothing.
Mate, Vegas would...
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? There's a lot of synergy there.
I tell you what, there'd be a lot of
It's
players...
on the West Coast-ish.
A lot of players would be vying to get over there. Like,
Yeah.
fighting to get over there. They'd be
I
like,
love
put
to
our
go
team.
Manly Rabbits. I think that's a great game. Manly win that comfortably. If we're going into that game breakdown of Manly v Rabbits in LA next year, Manly win that well.
Was it you saying that they're leaning on Crow, Hugh Jackman sort of pumping it up?
I thought it
Hollywood
was more. It
fucking
was
panache?
Rusty and it was us. And then if they need Hugh, we'll bring Hugh in, but they probably won't.
Right. Well, look, I was just being humble.
Yeah, I know, but-
Obviously.
No, not the time or the place to be.
Speaking of like Aussie superstars, is like how Hemsworth like the most successful Aussie ever?
Dude, I checked his Instagram the other day. He's got 56
that's
million
what
followers.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I was like, what the fuck?
What's his net worth?
Dude, 56 has got to put him in like the top fucking 20, doesn't it?
No, dude.
It'd put you right up the top 5% or something, or 2%.
He'd be up the top. But he's Thor, of course.
But like, I feel like he's even bigger than a lot of other big movie stars that are like.
How many's Leo got?
Leo would have none. Leo would have like less than 10.
Like he would have more than like The Weeknd.
But Leo's not fucking soft drink celebrity. You know what I mean? That's what Instagram is. Leo's their fucking, talking about saving the environment and shit, which is cool. But I just mean,
Justin Bieber would have a head.
and also, who's hotter, fucking Leo or Thor?
Does Justin Bieber not have?
No, he's got it, I think.
We'll go The Weeknd.
Maybe separate it.
Or you know what? We'll go Kanye West.
Kanye would have less than
I
20.
think he deleted his, didn't he?
Oh, no, there we go.
16.
But he
mil.
deletes them and shit all the time.
Okay, we'll go.
Do like...
Go Leo, DiCaprio. He would have less than 20.
I don't reckon he'd have one.
He definitely does have one.
Because he does it for like fucking...
53. He's got the same. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying respect to Leo. I didn't think he'd have 53.
He's the number one... He's like
Actor in the world,
actor.
yeah.
I agree 100%, but he's not like cool with the kids.
He's pretty cool.
He's
I think
pretty
he is,
fucking
but
cool,
cool,
Wall
bro.
Street.
I think he is, dude. I love Leo. This isn't an anti-Leo rant. I'm
Like how many
thinking-
Steph Curry got?
We'll check it
So
out.
actors, you've got the biggest actor is The Rock.
Yeah.
He's got
Peanut.
Shout out to The Rock.
309 mil. Then you've got Kevin Hart, but I guess he's also a comedian. Then Vin Diesel's probably the main
Vin's
only
pushing.
actor. He's got 80 mil.
That's what I'm saying,
Dude,
bro.
Vin Diesel has 80 mil.
Thor has more than Steph Curry.
Vin Diesel's would all be Chinese.
I know, but he's Fast and
Because
Furious.
Fast and Furious is massive over there.
But I'm sure Marvel is fucking huge in China as well.
That's a good point. All I'm saying, it's just like, that's a lot to me.
That's what I'm saying. I reckon
he's massive.
like one of the biggest Australians ever. That's what I'm
I'm
argument.
complete. Like, there's no.
But he doesn't come across that way. That's what I love about it.
He's just a cool dude in Byron, jacked to shit.
Jacked out of his
Matty.
mind. You'd know that he'd play a bit of footy with you, have a beer with you.
Yeah.
And he's like probably. I'm trying to think. Is any other Australian been? Is he the most famous Australian that we've had?
Not the most famous.
Because you've got like
don't-
Steve Irwin, who
Steve was
pretty
big.
like massive.
Well,
But,
having
like,
said that, he might be the most famous we've had. After Shane Warne, probably.
Yeah, after Warney.
Well, like, I don't think Chris could have a
Chris
billion
wouldn't get
eyeballs
a-
on his funeral.
Chris wouldn't get a billion to the
but
funeral.
How many that's a good point. So like Warney, you reckon Warney'd be right up there?
Dude, Warney's fucking
I mean,
shockingly
yeah.
famous. Like that
But
billion.
okay, so
Of living Australian, let's go living Australians right now. He would have to be comfortably
Number one.
Number one.
yeah.
How many Hugh Jackman got on the IG?
Hugh Jackman's second. Chris
much has he
Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth first. Hugh
For
Jackman has for Australian. Sorry.
So
Hugh
so he essentially is like, I mean, it's not the only metric, but he's essentially the most fucking
Yeah.
famous.
So it goes Chris Hemsworth with 53 mil. Hugh Jackman with 30 mil. Catherine
Hugh punches
Langford
off
with
30.
25 mil.
Use a gun.
I don't know. And then
Hugh's
Margot
fucking
Robbie.
Wolverine. He's
23.
not punching, is he?
But that's what? That's even a good example. Like he's Wolverine, and Thor has nearly double him.
But Wolverine's
But
like,
Thor is
how
bigger
old's
than
Wolverine
Wolverine
now?
He's not doing Wolverine thing.
That's what I mean.
Wolverine's in retirement home now.
That's what I mean.
But Thor's bigger than Wolverine. Thor's like now that Marvel movies like the biggest shit ever.
I feel like there's a period there where Wolverine was the guy.
I completely agree. But like now, isn't Thor? I think it might have been Hugh. I don't know if it is now Thor, but like the most movies playing the same character or some shit.
I tell you what, it's incredible. Like to think an Aussie bloke is where he's at. Wasn't he on like Home and Away?
He was on
Yeah,
Home and
yeah.
Away.
They all come out of that the
Nursery.
great nursery.
It's a
that
great
is Home and
nursery.
Away.
Proud Australian acting nursery.
It's like
It is Home and
and
Away.
Neighbours, R.I.P. But didn't he sell Centre the other day? That fitness app he's got for 200 million.
Oh, did
200
he?
mil. This guy's he's on another level.
Genius. Can you please get his net
Yeah.
worth up, Matty?
And you know what's crazy? I couldn't
130 mil.
130 mil.
be more proud that he's the guy representing us too.
Oh,
Seems
yeah.
like a great dude.
Like if I could pick one guy to represent Australia, just fucking killing it, it's Hemsworth.
Just this huge, jacked, fucking
bloke.
one of the great voices, dude. His
Great
voice.
Guilty
Holy
pleasure
shit.
of mine, watching the Tourism Australia ads where he's voicing them, and it's just like shots of Australia, and it's his speaking, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, bruh, butter me up.
Actually, you know who has a hectic voice? Because I'm watching a doco called Lead Us Home. It's Leeds United trying to get back in the Premier League in soccer.
Which they did.
Rusty Crowe.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah,
for ruining
bro.
it for me. I didn't know that.
Dude, Russell Crowe, Bravo.
Didn't you know that?
I didn't know. I was hoping not to know.
Sorry, bro.
That's where I'm on.
You don't follow the Premier League?
Oh, no. Did you just ruin the result?
I'm in like 7 episodes.
Oh, no.
Sorry, bro.
Now the suspense
Not a Premier League guy.
Oh, no. Shit. I mean, it is a fair, like, it's been so many years. Like, it's been quite a few years. But I'm
What is it? Now you've ruined it.
Leeds home.
Well, because Leeds were like flying high in the Premier League, and then they spent very poorly.
Yeah.
Very poor.
Like fucking,
Atrocious.
they spent crazy money, and their backup plan was, well, at least we'll make the fucking top 4, and you get all the Champions League money.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, and then they fucking went into administration. They got punished. They had to go all the way down the pyramid,
Yeah.
and it's them fighting their way back up to the Premier League, which I think they did this season or last season.
And so he ruined it by, what did you say to ruin it for?
Well, I just said that
He
they
said
get
they
back to the
qualify.
Premier League, but like,
And I'm at episode 7 now, where it's like they've just dropped down to 3rd place, which is outside the top 2.
so you just fucked
That's
it
all
now.
right. Doesn't
Dude,
matter.
Yeah,
no
but-
point watching it now, mate.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I was really looking forward. I'm flying up to Gold Coast now. And I've got it downloaded on my phone.
Sorry,
you
bro.
know what? It's not
that's
about the
hectic.
result, though. It's about the journey.
Yeah,
And that's what's
yeah, yeah.
it's
interesting.
about the journey, and you're
about
still
the
watching
journey.
the journey.
And
Still
you know what?
watching
Now
the
you got a
journey.
great story that you can tell people that was the time that Eddie ruined a story for you.
That's right.
But I think they're like with spoilers. It's been a couple years now. Like
Nah, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
That's not a
sorry.
spoiler.
Yeah, that I'm with you on that. That's technically
You
not a
really
spoiler.
should have been like, "Don't ruin it for me. I know it's late."
Yeah.
Like Breaking Bad.
Like
I
I've
can see you
been
Breaking Bad.
ignoring all Premier League news,
For
Yeah,
2
like, you
weeks.
know what? Yeah, fair. I
which
should
is
have said
impressive in itself.
that. Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. So it wasn't a spoiler, but it did sting.
But it did spoil it.
No,
I
it
did
sting.
spoil it.
But it wasn't.
But not intentionally.
That's not a
Yeah.
technical spoiler.
You can't- you can't-
Because
it's
like
not
that's
on you.
You can't
live
pin me
sport
for that.
too. No way. No
I
way.
can't be charged for that.
No
you
charging for that because it's
You
live
get
sport.
off.
It's like me going, oh fuck the Super League Wars. What happened in the end of that? And then blowing up because you say, oh, they fucking
Yeah,
went to
you
fuck.
can't be doing
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Can't
so
get
I
pinged.
can't put. You know what? That was my fault. I should have been clearer about the fact that I didn't know what happened.
Yep.
But it is a great documentary. Matter of fact, I've been getting into a lot of the soccer documentaries. There's
Have you watched
so
the
many
All
good
or
ones.
Nothings?
Yes,
They're unbelievable.
amazing. The
bro.
Man City one.
Isn't it good? It's the best.
Fuck,
bro.
it's good, bro. Oh,
I
my
love
God.
that one.
Don't
so
ruin it.
much.
Haven't seen it.
But yeah, Russell Crowe, he voices over the Leeds United one, and his voice is like honey to the
Bro,
ears.
you never heard Russell Crowe voice over the Bra Boys film?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Have you
really?
seen the Bra Boys?
Nah, I've never seen the Broncos.
I know who they are. Oh, that's a rite
One of the
of
great
passage,
Australian
bro.
docos.
That's a rite of passage.
I have to check it out.
Chat to Kobe.
Now, Lomax versus Frizell. What do you guys think? Lomax has been charged with contrary conduct.
I can't believe he was charged. It was just a dick move, right? Like where you go in terms of like, okay, he's been a bit of a fuckwit. Like, do you charge someone for
I
that?
don't think so. Like the argument could be made. It nearly started a fight. That's a bad look for rugby league. But I think it's like, did anyone watch that and not get more keen on the game?
Yeah.
Or is it more just like this little pissy $1,000 thing? You know what I mean?
Slap on the wrist.
Dude, that sets a precedent of like any sort of gloating or fucking. Like, could you?
Well-
is it just because he jumped on him, right? Like, is that it? Because he jumped on his back?
Yeah.
Because like, what about how Gutho and Laurie were going at each other on the field? That could have sparked a fight because they were being lippy.
That's
Obviously,
just
one's
fair.
a bit more physical, but
Yeah.
like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I thought like they'll handle it. It's all good. And so apparently, according to 360, Lomax has reached out to Frizell, but Frizell hasn't responded. I don't see how that's.
Well, are you telling me that Zach
They're
is
mates.
in touch with, say, Kenty or something? He's like, "Oi, mate, like, can you talk to Frizz?"
Yeah,
Is
oi,
Kenty been around?
Kenty, Frizz won't fucking answer the phone, bro. Like, well, can you mediate, bro?
Can you message him, dude?
Dude, can you sit us down? Like, we need to break bread, man.
Maybe do it
okay,
live. Maybe do it live on
Yeah.
Earth 360.
Like Kenty, the fucking connected mob boss, is like, I'll sit you down. And
Maybe he's undercover.
He could be.
undercover mob
Yeah.
boss. Look, I obviously in the perfect sportsmanship world, not the best, but at the end of the day, it isn't a big deal to me, in my opinion.
No,
Oh, mate, I don't give a fuck. I liked it. I sort of like seeing a little bit of that.
Like,
you
it's
don't
not
want to go
something
the
you want
NFL right, like
Where you
route
can't do
where you
anything.
can't do
Yeah.
anything, you know.
but like, you know, it's not something you'd encourage. It's not behaviour you'd encourage. And I feel like people's responses in the media were kind of enough of a like, he's been basically shit-canned by everyone. Like, not a good look, fucking da-da-da. I'm sure, maybe he doesn't, but like that in and itself, you're like, oh, it's a bit embarrassing, right? And the way people reacted. To charge him is just kind of lame, and it's like taking it way too seriously.
Yeah, it almost like puts a spotlight on it when it could have probably been forgotten. Straight away. As I said, and we've seen plenty of times blokes bringing them into huddles and all that kind of stuff.
Frizell did it in Origin. There's a photo of Frizell literally with his
It's all
arm
part
around
of the battle, the heat of the battle.
Gagai deserved it though.
Gagai did deserve it.
As a Queenslander.
Yeah.
It was actually Will Chambers.
Will Chambers?
Well, he deserved it as well.
Yeah.
Both blokes
Essentially,
caused a bit of pain.
Definitely deserved it.
They caused a bit of pain over the years.
Yeah, they did.
You know what? And I thought Frizell won the battle. He ended up flipping him on his back.
Yeah.
So that's like a win for Frizell.
And then you have fucking David Clemmer of Escape the Asylum fame coming up to Lomax afterwards with his crazy eyes. You're like, that looks fucking
I love that
terrifying.
shit. Because I'm like, it's like he's trying to make him respect his mate and he's like pulling him up. Like that's real old school kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing that from Clemmer. You're right, though. Clemmer looks like he was one of those inmates on Shutter Island.
Yeah,
Seen
dude,
that
he's
movie?
Shutter Island.
He's a
seriously.
scary man.
He's scary as
He was
fuck.
like one of the first, like obviously the New South Wales forwards took it to Queensland. But during that run as a young pup, really was like
Dude,
going
just
at
didn't
Queensland.
have any respect for any of them. And then they're like, and this isn't like a diss on Corey Parker, but I remember him coming out at the time being like, yeah, show some respect. It's like, it's Origin, bruh.
Didn't he say "shut up, cunt"? Or something
Yeah,
like
he
that?
said show some respect. He said shut up, cunt.
he said his exact words were "get fucked, you cunt."
Well, to be honest, I can understand where Cos is coming from. I can understand where Clemmer's coming
That's
from.
why we're better than Queensland. Queensland ain't got Origin. You guys like, be nice.
I think it's more about like, with the Queensland side, not that the New South Wales side doesn't do it, but it's like respecting a hierarchy of like experience versus young. And so
Yeah, but if you're the opposition in Origin...
yeah, no, I get it.
Origin different.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm saying I can see both sides. Like I can see Cozza sitting there going like, you can bash me and you can shot me or whatever, but telling me to shut the fuck up or get fucked cunt. You could say unnecessary, but I can also see Clemmer's like, bro, it's Origin, fuck you.
Yeah.
And we're getting pumped for the last few years, so we need to start.
We need to change. We've been probably respecting you for the last 8 years. It's time to change it.
It hasn't worked. We've been doing that respect thing, and it's
I love
failed
those
us
Origin
miserably.
moments. I love those. Like, and you don't.
That's folklore.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't realise you're living in folklore when it happens.
Yeah.
Like when Munster fucking pounded you into the earth. Remember that? Remember that
When was
folklore?
that? No, I don't
When was that?
remember
I've forgotten that.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that folklore moment? Munster
went down
going
the
on a
slip-
bender
when he-
and he fucking towed you up in Origin?
No, I don't remember it. Tommy Turbo injured. Was that one where he was out? I don't know.
You know what I do remember is when you pounded us into the dirt in North Queensland, and then we had another game in Queensland and beat us again.
Yeah, that was game one where we...
That was game.
Was it game one where we had the
That was
bet on
game
Eddie?
one.
Tommy first try scorer, Tommy 2 or more.
That was one of the great
Tommy man
poundings.
of the match.
One of the great poundings, that.
Yep.
One of the great poundings.
Only player to get multiple hat-tricks in Origin, I believe, or at least for New South Wales.
That's right. 3 games up in Queensland.
And he's
Was that
fucking
last
done
year?
us twice.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're good.
And you basically call it a 3-0 whitewash because there were 3 games in Queensland, right?
I tell you what, it was like a revenge series. Like that was pure, utter revenge.
Yeah, we
of
swept
like-
ya.
Well,
Well.
I don't know about that.
We did.
Seems unfair that we don't get at least 2 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, if he's one, I reckon we'd say okay. Now, according to Gus Gould, a number of players have returned the Rona, and they're asking for exemption for more players to fill their roster to play the Broncos this weekend.
Where are they getting these players from?
Must be like New South Wales Cup or something.
Right. Surely you give them that.
I mean,
it's
that's
not going to make
Tough
it that
gig
much
for
worse.
doggies. Like they're already struggling, then they lose that many players. They need compensation. What do you got there, mate?
Not much. This is really just being based off a tweet that Phil Gould said. So I'm not. There's no
So
real
it's just based
details.
off a Gus Gould tweet.
Well, I read the article and the tweet
Yep.
was embedded, so I'm assuming so.
So as in Gus has confirmed that this is.
Gus has confirmed it. Yeah.
That's tough for the Dogs. Not what they need.
Do we just just play?
What do you mean?
Like
I was in just play with the Rona.
like
Oh, yeah.
No, look-
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if you're not sick,
yeah, and it's like most people already got it anyway.
Dude,
I don't
no,
know.
I get it,
You know,
bro. And
maybe
also,
I don't
like,
know. I'm not a doctor. so I
these
don't know.
motherfuckers are like at the absolute apex of physical condition. It's not like, again, they've got to get back to their families and all that sort of shit. So maybe it's
Yeah.
like,
Maybe there's more to it that we don't know.
but like, yeah, without being a medical professional, we do feel, like we can speak about coronavirus with some authority. And I think that let them play.
wise words, Thomas.
Yeah,
wise
thank
words
you.
from Dr. Tom.
Yeah.
I would like to know who is out.
They haven't
Very
said it. He
vague.
just said too many.
Too vague for my liking.
So someone said how many players are out, and Gus just said too many.
Carl Flanagan doesn't have COVID, but I think Trent decided to drop him anyway.
He's a close contact.
Yeah. Nah, mate. No. We're going to drop you.
Has Kyle been dropped?
No.
I was going to say, good lord.
It's a tough gig.
How did I miss that?
Mitch Barnett signs with the Warriors.
Huge.
I reckon that actually is quite substantial news with everything that's happened. And then
It was
he's
kind
out.
of weird. Was that reported a couple of weeks ago? That was going to happen?
And it was like not shouted down, but they were like, not happening, rah rah. And then it's like, that's why like these stories, there's always a kernel of truth to it. Because I think that initial story was he wants an immediate, he's going to get an immediate release. And so they came out and said that's not the case. But I guess there was maybe that he was asking for it. He just never got
Is
it.
Matt Lodge leaving the Warriors?
I think
was
he's staying
reading-
in Australia, yeah. Like,
Okay.
again, that's all reportedly though. But I think he doesn't want
surely
to go
the
back to
fish
Germany.
pick him up, don't they?
Mate, you'd be crazy not to if you're...
He's got fish written all
He's
over.
got
him.
fish written all over him, dude.
Absolutely written all over him. And I think he used to play for Redcliffe, actually, in Q Cup.
Okay, there you go.
There's a bit of synergy there.
There is. Yeah, sure, Mitch Barnett. I mean,
fine.
look, is it going to blow the pubes off? No, it's not. But it's an all right sign.
What would blow the pubes off you?
Shit.
What
That's
removes?
a great question.
What removes?
What removes
Like, what would be
pubes?
the nair of signings?
Well, if Manly signed Munster, say,
That'd blow the pubes off?
my pubes would be gone.
Well,
It'd be like laser surgery. They'd never come back.
they'd never come back. Whoever signs Munster next, I think
Will be pubeless.
they'll be
So
pupilless.
get your cocks out, ready for that moment.
You won't need to get them out.
and it's free laser.
No, it's just like you'll have
It'll
to
go.
shake out your undies.
Yeah.
What if you want your pubes?
Well,
Tough titties.
shit.
Do you want Munster? What do you
So
want
every
more?
bloke around the country is losing his pubes. When
And
it's
they-
signed.
and women. It's not just-
If your
and chicks
side
too.
signs Munster,
So everyone's just, you're losing their
Everyone who has pubes who goes to the team that signs Munster,
gone.
gone. Unless you're the Storm, because they're already gone.
Well, yeah, they haven't had any for a
They
while.
haven't had pubes for ages.
Although they don't sign anyone.
No, that's
So have they
true.
still got
Have
them
they got the
technically,
pubes
Tom?
because they haven't got the excitement?
Well, no, they probably from their initial signing of Glenn Lazarus, their pubes got blown off, haven't grown back
That's
because
true.
of
When
laser.
you
Oh, 'cause of
sign-
Glenn.
Yeah,
Haven't grown back because of laser.
Lazarus.
Laser Lazarus.
Laser. That's what they call him.
Laser Laz. They've always called
They've
him that.
always called him that. Now it makes sense.
It
does.
makes
It
perfect
makes
sense.
Everyone had
Laser
their
Laz.
pubes blown
Good
off.
play. Good play.
So, yeah.
Do you reckon the Warriors are going to have a bit of a problem with that when they go back to Auckland next year?
Oh, players not
Players not wanting to go back?
100%. I think they've already. So Aitken's not going. Like Aitken's is because his missus has some family. Oh, I think I'm not sure who it is, but has some family issues. Then you've got Reece Walsh, who is rumoured that he has a clause in his contract that he can sign somewhere else.
Doesn't
and not
mind
go
the
back.
look of the fish. He could look good for the
Oh,
fish.
he's another guy that will blow a few pubes off.
He'd blow pubes for sure.
He's a good. Well, Redcliffe. He's already there. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go, dude.
Probably found a home there.
Dude, bad day to be a pubic hair in Redcliffe.
Real
My
bad
word.
day. Oh, baby. Have to glue them on.
So if you're ever having a one-night stand with someone that has glued-on pubes, you know they're a Dolphins fan.
Well, they're a fan of a rugby league side that's just had a massive signing.
Yeah. Are you glued your pubes back on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I have actually. Panthers just re-signed Cleary and his dad for 7 years. Or whatever.
And they've come off.
Yeah.
Look, there's nothing I could do.
No.
It is what it is.
It is what it
Look,
is.
I understand that this looks a little odd. I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't have
Maybe
fucking...
you've not glued them on.
I don't know if this wood glue's helping.
Well, wood glue's a nightmare.
Whoa, it's...
I think
and
you
it's
should have
also-
gone with Yoo-hoo.
It's
not
also
visible.
white, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. You should have gone with the Yoo-hoo, which is transparent.
Well,
You
I
don't
don't,
go with
I
the
don't,
white
I
glue,
don't
do
think I don't think Yoo-hoo would stand up to the rigours of someone on the job.
No, that's true. Yoo-hoo, not for chonging.
Nah.
Wood glue
It's not
is
chong-proof.
needed. No,
At least that's what it says on the bottle.
not chong-proof. Whereas wood glue, you can chong with wood glue. It is the unfortunately,
Well,
though,
you've
it
got
looks
wood.
white.
Yeah.
Exactly, you
Well,
got wood glue.
That's why they call it wood glue.
Yeah.
You can...
Anyway.
Anyway.
Panthers are in talks to sign Luke Garner to replace Kickout. All reports, though, nothing confirmed. I like the signing. It reminds me a bit of Kurt Cable.
Yeah, Luke, a solid footballer. Certainly not a kick out, pube remover. But it seems like he's cement rather than a brick. When we go back to our wall analogy.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, look, if you've got the brick in Nathan Cleary,
Yeah, he's the brick.
cement's all right. bro.
Cement's fine. Dude.
Cement's fine.
It's really all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've got fucking the brick.
You got
And Luke Garner's
you've got
still
the
good.
brick.
Luke Garner still is a good player.
And you know, in a new system, he probably will go to a new level.
Yeah.
And it's not to disrespect the Tigers or whatever, but
Well, sounds like it.
but the Panthers system clearly, blokes are going there and playing incredible. Yeah, I think this is great. Great if it comes through. Now, onto the preview of the round. What a match. Sharks versus Manly. Finucane out with concussion. Ueli out for 3 months. Harper in, Cooler out. Aloiai also out. How do you see this game panning out?
Look, in all seriousness, I think Manly win 13 plus. But Aloiai, for me, for mine, has been the best player for us.
He's been great.
He's been the best player like we've had all season, in the sense of like when he came back, it just changed the way our forwards were just. We were playing a little in those first 2 weeks, like not 13 plus. And then when he came back in, he was chewing meters, and it was just, there was something about...
He had some PCMs about you.
He had some PCMs about him. He had the go forward. Only heard that he was out with a shoulder injury on the way here, and Eddie and I had to pull over and catch our breath and hold each other.
We had to go to Macca's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tough.
I can understand it.
Have you ever heard the term rugby league tone setter? That's Josh Alloway.
That's
He's a tone setter.
You know, you need a bloke to set the tone.
Fucking oath you do. So am I concerned he's not playing? Yeah, I am. But do I believe in our club, in the players around the club, in the systems that Des has put in? Yeah, I do.
And also, Finucane out with concussion and Hamlin Uele out for 3 months. If you're a Manly fan, you're not mad at those outs.
I mean, it's basically a one-for-one. Hamlin Ueli has been outstanding for the Sharks. Aloe outstanding for you. So it's kind of like an even playing field. Then for Nukin as well, you would have to say they're probably more under strength than you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got Tommy out though.
We do have to. Is Stubby injured?
No, he's just
Or
out.
Garner?
Cooler, they bring Harper in. Do you agree or disagree with this call?
I thought they would have maybe given him a bit more of a go, but the second half we did leak some fucking points against the Titans. But I mean, like, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, why bring him in and then drop him after a game?
Yeah.
But Harper, I think, actually had COVID. I don't think he was dropped.
Yeah, I know. Like, he had COVID, but I kind of feel like...
He also deserved to maybe be dropped.
Well, he has been struggling for form, and I think like Cooler, like bringing him in and out. I mean, he is young. Maybe you just need to give him time in reserve grade. Don't rush him.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I do like the loyalty to Harper because like he was great last year.
Yeah,
Like,
and he
was a
also
big
didn't
reason.
play bad. The last game he played before he got dropped
It was his
against
best game of the
Newcastle.
year.
Yeah,
Best game of the
played
year.
There's
all
still
right.
a little bit of both at times,
Yeah.
but look, I like to think that there is a fucking complete 80-minute performance in Harper, and I think it's going to be this Thursday.
I agree. Each week I'm thinking this is going to be the week we see the quality that he like because all last year he was like your most consistent player.
Yeah.
Like he was outstanding.
He's on Talakai as well, who's a big motherfucker.
You know what?
So
Maybe
gotta
that's
have
why
his wits
he's
about him.
in because he's got more experience in the big games. Whereas
Yeah.
Cooler is a bit of a smaller body.
And Talakai's
Talakai.
a rugby league handful.
A rugby league mouthful.
And a mouthful. I am a little concerned that Nico of
Red
Manly
FM.
Junior fame doesn't go up there and try and prove a point.
Yeah.
I'd find that annoying.
Yeah,
And a
I
little
would.
disrespectful, Nico.
Disrespectful,
So you
'cause
know
it
what I
wasn't
mean?
us, it was
Just
Trent.
remember who fucking found you, bro, and brought you up.
Do
into
it
this,
to fucking
into this
do it to
world.
the Dogs and Trent Barrett.
I mean, you
who-
can also
Yeah, take it out on Trent, not us.
not us.
I mean, you could argue they're also the team that brushed him.
Brushed him. Manly didn't.
brushed him.
Trent brushed
That's
him.
the point. That's
And
what I'm
Trent
trying to
was
say.
sacked.
I'm just trying to-
We
Nico.
sacked Trent off the back of that.
We know Nico's listening. Brother, I'm talking to you direct. It was Trent that dropped you. It wasn't Manly. You don't have to take anything out on Manly. Take it out on Trent.
Take it
The
out
thing
on Trent.
Is piping hot right now.
Yeah, and I'm just reminding him that it wasn't Manly the club, it was Trent the man.
Look,
that did
Sharks
that.
struggle against Manly historically. I think Manly win and we win well, and the Sharks, unfortunately, 2-game slump, and then they come back.
2 games slump.
As in,
Well, they lose
to
2
the-
games.
Lose
Yeah,
2 in
yeah.
a row.
Like a little, just
a
a
mini
reset.
slump.
Just a mini
I
slump.
tell you what, Sharks are fast becoming a lot of fans' second club.
Well, they
They-
were our second favourite club basically at the start of the season. So we did it first. But not this week.
I do recall you saying that they will be a top tier side this year.
Yeah, I was always on the Sharks.
Yeah, we've been bullish on the Sharks all year. Mostly because I was bullish on Nico.
Yeah, it was a Nico
I just want to
base.
remind you, Nico, again, I'm a big fan of yours, bro, so don't fuck me.
No.
Don't fuck me on
Could
Thursday,
you imagine if he
bro.
goes out and puts on 3 try assists and breaks your heart?
I know. And
That hair just whipping around.
I'm going with my brother as well, who's a big Sharkies
really?
fan. I'm just like, I don't need that in my life.
No.
I
It's a
don't
bad
need
day with someone just rubbing it in. You're fucking
I don't
already
need
pissed
that.
off.
I don't need that.
Are you a a bad winner or a good winner? Like if your mate loses, he considers to be down the dumps, do you make it worse for him or do you make it...
Depends how much I've had to drink.
It also depends on how much of a, like, what your mate's like as like a fan. If they're lippy as well, then it's you are...
What are the rules of engagement? You know what I mean? Because like sometimes it can hurt when you're already fucking pissed off and your mate's going, fucking suck shit.
It's all fair. I think
it's all fair in love and war.
All fair in love and war?
It's all fair in love and war. Look, if you can't cop it when your team loses and you get ripped, then you can't give it though. You got to be able to cop it if you're going to give it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What about in like
take your licks
in comment sections?
Gotta
Like
take
say,
your licks.
I'll give you a few examples. I've never given you licks ever in a comment section. Where on numerous occasions when the Broncos lose, you've left a few licks.
Well, we also probably don't give you anywhere to comment, you know? Like, it's like we're not putting up, oh, Manly lost, you know?
Well, we'll flag at half mast.
And we'll do a flag at half mast.
And to make matters worse, though, whenever you do give me the licks, it has the most likes. So it's compounding the lick.
Well, that's, yeah. So but we also take our licks. So we
But
give
I
them out.
am not the giver of the licks, though. I feel like I'm an innocent
But you
bystander.
give them here. You give them here. You give them here when we're... Well, I mean, it's hard for you at the moment because we're so good. But when we are bad, boy band syndrome, fucking all that bullshit.
All that crap.
We fucking get
I just
licked.
thought this was the battleground. I didn't think the internet. But fair enough if you feel like it's a wider place.
No.
Look, you got to be able to take your licks.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Like if we lose, we
get
20 minutes on the podcast is us getting licked near to death.
Just
We take
voice
them.
messages.
We take them. That's all right. You don't have to dish them out if you don't want to. But if you want to, we're here and we'll take them. That's all right. But we won't take them on Thursday because we'll win.
I take licks. I just don't like licks that aren't true. That gets to me.
Right.
Licks that are true. Okay. Yeah, I'll cop that.
Have you lost 4 games in a row now?
Yes.
So that's
true.
true.
That's a fair lick. Well, that's a fair
Boom.
lick.
Thank
That's
you.
a good, honest lick.
That's a good honest lick.
Yeah.
Manly won 4 on the trot.
Yeah. So we're the inverse of you.
Pretty
You won your
much.
first 2, we lost our first 2. We
Yeah.
won our next 4, you
Pretty
lost
much.
your next 4. That's math.
Do you feel silly wearing that ghillie suit now?
Not at all. It's all for the content. We've been here.
No,
We've
I
been
know.
down this
No,
route.
But
look,
like,
I mean,
as in like you've offended the gods.
Yeah, it
That's
was an
more what I
early
mean.
crow of just
It was
epic
great
proportions.
content, but
Yeah,
has
yeah.
it offended the gods?
It
Have
has,
you jinxed the whole
but
side?
I believe the Broncos will be stronger for it.
Okay.
You know, like the old Viking gods where they don't want people that are like, oh, sorry, they're like hard, tough gods where they punish them to make them stronger. That's the Broncos gods.
Okay.
Is that okay? Well,
That
look,
sounds like making excuses for gods.
look, it does.
Like, for example, one licking that frustrates the fucking hell out of me is like, they're not going to make the finals now, Kempy, you fucking dickhead. And I'm like, bro, I never said they were going to make the finals.
I remember you saying that at first.
I remember you being pretty
one.
bullish on them
was
making
an
the top
ambush.
What's the
four.
most outrageous licking that you've got where you've been like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, the dribbler hotlines where it usually goes down, and it's some of them are just more intense than others.
To be honest, it's like 99% of it is Manly-based lickings.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get licked where people like jokes straight over their head.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like when we're saying shit in jest or we're joking
Yeah.
and they take it serious, it's like you missed
Right.
the
I
whole
think after
point.
Manly got pumped by the Storm last year, did we do the stream for that? And
Was
then we
that
were
the first
out?
round of the final? No,
it was the last one, the one
no,
that got us knocked
No,
out.
that was the Rabbits.
The Rabbits knock us
Didn't the
out.
Storm knock you
You
out?
streamed both of them, but South
Yeah, I know
knocked
No,
you
the
out.
Rabbitohs beat us.
South knocked you out of the prelim.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, maybe
I
it
thought
was
it was
just
a
a
Storm.
Storm.
No, Storm
fucked
played
us
the
up,
Panthers.
then we beat the
And then we
Roosters.
lost,
And then
yeah.
I think
So
it
we
was the
lost.
Storm.
So we
yeah.
lost to the Storm, licked near to
Top four, you
death.
had 2 things, yeah.
Lost
Beat
to the
the
Storm,
Roosters.
licked near to death, beat the Roosters, and then lost to the Rabbits. We got licked pretty heavily on both.
But I
occasions.
think the Storm one was like quite because we got fucked up.
we got pumped.
We got fucked
Did
up.
they put 40 on it?
Yes, it was something like that.
Jesus.
So I think that might have been one of the larger lickings.
You know the favourite meme that is used regularly in punters and dribblers is the "Where's your ex now, you dickhead?" The Tigers
Oh
fan.
yeah, the Thurston guy.
Yeah, like for example, like "Where's your ambush now, Kemper, you dickhead?" Like I fucking love that meme.
Yeah,
That's a
that is
great
good.
meme.
It's one that dribbler. You see, I hope he's still ripping and tearing that dribbler.
Oh, he's one of the greats.
He's one of the great.
greats.
He's I mean,
He is.
again,
That
imagine
is
his
like
life.
if
He's
someone
a
goes,
meme.
"What's a dribble?" I go,
Boom.
That's a dribbler.
"That guy."
Where's your Queensland spirit now, Thurston? You dumb prick. It's like Thurston.
It's so
it's
good.
good stuff.
It's
All right. So what are we predicting?
Manly
here,
13
boys?
plus.
Manly 13 plus.
Um,
Ruben Garrick looking good at the back. Like Manly against the Titans, like obviously we let him back in, but it was starting to be like our attack was humming in that first half.
Bit of a stat. The Sharks have beaten Manly 3 times in 14 years.
Wow, so Manly got the wood on them.
Oh, yeah.
Wood glue.
Yeah.
Wood
The
glue on them.
serious wood glue on them, dude.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
They'll be putting their pubes back
Yeah,
on.
we're going to
after
glue
the game.
pubes all over their face after the win.
We got the wood glue on them, bro. Simple as that. We got the wood glue.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. This is a really interesting one. Ruben Garrick, man, I think he's had a great start to the year.
Yeah.
Great start.
Seriously.
And underappreciated because he doesn't like put himself out there that much. Like he's hot as anything. Obviously, the Himalayas on his face.
Well, the 15th peak.
Was the 15th peak.
15th peak. Apologies. But I think he's been solid as. Like
Yeah.
we have to remember, he replaced Tommy, but on top of that, he's your goal kicker, and your goal kicking has been fucking outstanding.
He kicks well.
really well.
He kicks from the left and he kicks from the right. He
Ruben
kicks them all
Garrick,
night.
he kicks them all night. All
Talking
day.
about kicking.
All day.
Or day. But it doesn't have the same
Or all
ring to
evening.
it. Yep.
Kicks from the left,
Dusk.
kicks from the right. Ruben Garrick, he kicks them all day.
all evening.
All evening. All dusk. He'd kick him at dawn. They had
could.
games then.
He
I miss
could.
the old dawn games.
Yeah, the dawn games.
You imagine
Yeah.
a dawn game?
Well, like fucking...
Could they do a dawn game for ANZAC Day? Imagine a
Under
sunrise
13s.
day.
That would actually be
fucking
fucking
sick.
Under 13s E's is always at dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
G's.
I've played at dawn many a time.
Sometimes they went so far down you had to play the night before.
Mate, could you imagine the dawn service rolled into a game?
Rolling into a game.
That'd be fucking
That would
hectic.
actually be sick.
Kick off literally as the sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the ball flying up in the air.
Dewy.
We're loving the ANZAC,
Oh,
saying
yeah.
thank you for everything you've done, you absolute fucking legends. I am going to go Sharks at home.
Why are you
Sharks
even
get the
pretending?
win.
You were going
Sharks get the
Sharks the whole time.
Oh, I don't know.
That was pump and pageantry P's and D's. That was him sitting there. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'll go
Go
Sharks.
Manly.
If it was at Manly at home, I'd go Manly.
Go Manly.
Sharkies.
Fair enough.
Well,
You're
sorry,
gonna be
boys.
wrong.
Broncos, doggies. Te Maire Martin. Apologies if I got that wrong. I know I've butchered it before. Is at fullback. Haas, Flegler, Farnworth all return. Shoot to the centres, but to be confirmed given the Rona chaos. What have you got here, boys? Broncos, doggies.
Pending COVID fucking outbreak, I think that the Broncos actually, and you've got all these ins for Broncos. I think Broncos will pump them.
Shout out to Martin to come back
Yeah.
after that brain injury. Like, what an incredible journey for him.
And he's hot. Not that matters, but it does.
It helps.
Well,
helps.
it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
I'll give you
that
that tip.
he's
It does
really
not hurt.
hot.
I think now that with all this COVID stuff for the dogs, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
And it's in Brisbane.
Like, it's an absolute must-win for us.
Fleglerback's good.
It's
well.
you could argue it's a must-win for the dogs as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. It's a huge game for us. If we drop this game, we drop our bundle then. All of a sudden, all that
don't wanna
hard
drop your
work.
bundle.
We don't want to drop the
drop
bundle.
to the Dogs. Yuck.
And the last game was close as shit.
Yeah.
So, going to be a tough challenge. Like, going to be, especially after the Penrith game, we need to win this. And to be honest, we need to win it well.
I'd love the Dogs to win.
I mean, if they win, it'd be a great win. And you know what? Like, their forward pack, I really like the Doggies' forward pack. I think Kyle Flanagan's getting better each week. They're going to build the combination with Burton. You know, Duffy was fantastic last week. So it's not going to be like an easy game at all for the Broncos.
Pending COVID outs.
Pending COVID outs, obviously. But let's assume that they have most of their core players and they're just missing like 2 or 3 that aren't, you know, their core players. I still think the Doggies can give it a fair shake. I really do. So it's going to be a great game, but I'm going to go Broncos, Cowboys,
Ooh,
Titans.
Freudian slip. Dogs to win.
I like the Cowboys here.
Yes. The Titans are just
Titans are
Very strange.
They
Very
are
young. Very
very
young
strange.
side. Young hot side.
They're not. They just seem to be very disjointed.
Yeah, they're the young, hot, like TikTok crowd of rugby league at the moment, where they're just distracted. They're distracted by the bright lights and the hot chicks and the fucking They're not playing rugby league. They're just trying to get followers and shit at the moment. You know what I
It'd
mean?
be a bit concerning though. Titans hierarchy going. Like a couple of years ago, you signed for Freddy. You think you're on the up. You think things are.
I think
They
they're
are
still
on
on
the
the up. I think they're still on the up.
They're on the up, but they're not
plateaued. I think
they're
they've plateaued. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But in their defence, they brought in a new 7, Sexton. Brimo's been moved to 6. Campbell's also young. If they didn't have such a young spine, I would agree. Like, it's a bit concerning that they've plateaued. But I think this is kind of like they've improved. You take a one step back to take a great step forward in 2-3 years. I think you'll see the dividends in 2-3 years with these guys.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Like
Tino's a motherfucker.
Well,
I was going to say Tino, great captain, 22 years old.
Yeah.
2 hands and a mouth.
Yep.
That's Tino.
Tino's definitely.
Tino, 2 hands and a mouth.
2 hands and a mouth.
Do you want as well?
And for a couple of feet, you sure?
Yeah. Well, if you can throw some
Just
feet
lump it in there.
Well, the only reason you don't have feet in there is purely down to your flexibility because they're needed.
They're needed.
The feet are needed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look, interesting. Campbell still in reserve, so maybe injuries is still, I guess, not ready. I would have thought he would go straight back into that fullback role.
I loved watching Jaden Campbell.
100% agreed. I totally agree. I know his defence needs a bit of work, but I think he offers so much in attack. You got to have him in the side.
100%.
And it's not like the Titans have been blowing teams off the park. But who knows? So what, you boys are going Cowboys?
I'm Cows, yeah.
I am going to go, Cowboys. I think they just got a bit of grit at the moment. Good, gritty side.
Yeah.
They'll be patient. Because the problem with Titans, even if they blow them out in the first half, they have a tendency to fucking second half,
They either shit the bed first half or shit the bed second half. But the one thing you know is they will shit the bed.
The
at
bed's
some
getting
point.
shit.
They will
The sheets will be changed.
Yeah.
Know that. Take that to the bank.
So we're going Cowboys. All right. I think it's going to be a great match, though. Now, Tigers v South. Tigers 1-17 the same. Moale recalled to the bench for the South. 4 forwards on the bench, so they're going for a power game. Thoughts on this game?
Tigers.
Mate, I want the Tigers to win.
Yeah.
I do. I want them to start getting a mini roll on before they lose to Manly next week. That's what I want to happen. I've got a...
Got a feeling? Vibe? Are we talking vibe?
It's just vibe.
It's vibe.
Nothing more than vibe here, punters and dribblers. That's all it is. I think the Tigers win.
I think the Tigers can do it.
It's just a vibe thing.
Listen,
Vibe thing.
recency, dude. Why do I make any decisions? Usually because something's happened almost immediately that has influenced
It's called
me.
recency bias.
Correct.
Now, South beat the Raiders, sure, but
Fuck.
the
Did they?
Tigers...
I thought the Cows beat the Raiders. South beat...
Dogs.
But they didn't smash them, did they? But like they were in it for a bit, weren't they?
By the end, they pumped them.
Okay.
It started a little tight, and then it...
Yeah,
Well,
look, I don't know. The Tigers, off the back of just emotion and vibe, I think the Tigers can do it.
If Madge can get them back down from the clouds to then get back up again to the
Yes.
clouds...
You can't spend a week in the clouds.
No, you can't.
If they've spent the whole week up there, Monday to Saturday, they'll lose.
It's like getting horizontal for too long. It's very hard to get back
Get
into
back
things.
up.
That's right. But if Madge has found some weights, got them back down from the clouds to the ground...
Do you reckon he's just walked in and gone, you're an ugly cunt, you're a fucking dairy.
Start bringing them all down.
Just
yeah.
like bring him
You
down.
are fucking hideous.
You suck. You're
Fucking
shit.
loser. You got a weird head to body ratio.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
you're
fuck.
fucking weirdly proportioned.
Yeah. You are unsymmetrical. If they got a bit of that...
But that's
I reckon
symmetrical
probably,
rhetoric?
what are we, Wednesday? Today?
Hit him with
If they-
symmetrical
if they-
rhetoric.
If they got
Today.
some symmetrical rhetoric today, I think they can get back up again for Saturday.
I think they need to be back down to earth today.
100%.
At the latest.
Yeah, at the very latest.
Nah, Wednesday was the absolute cut-off.
Yep.
If they went down to earth, COB, that's close of business. They won't win
They
that
won't
football
win.
game.
And so just a bit of symmetrical rhetoric. Walk in, mate. You got weird long legs, you weirdo.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your
book
weenus,
him, You're
bro?
at school and so knock your books out of your hand.
Yeah.
Give some guys
Maybe
some
a
books and
wedgie.
Book
Maybe
a
a couple of wedgies,
Yeah.
bro.
Madge can go in and wedgie the boys.
I just wedgie him, book some people. I'd drop Luke Brooks for a day, then tell him he's back in. Go, that's just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Wet William.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wet willies. Apparently you're a shit rude. That sort of thing.
Cork? Actually, you don't want to injure him.
Cool. Yeah, you don't
Nah,
want
you
to call them.
can't.
You don't
I,
injure
I would have supported the cork rhetoric,
Yeah.
but it's...
Sack wax. Sack wax you can recover from. I don't like the sack wax. It's obviously a nightmare, but it certainly brings you down a peg or two.
I wouldn't open with a sack whack. I think if someone
Needed it.
needed a sack whack,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like, if
maybe
it's getting
maybe
close-
Hastings needs a sack
Yeah.
whack because
Like,
he's real hot.
It's getting
Yeah.
close to COB, and you just go, fuck, I've got to do it.
Yeah, he's not down yet.
Like if it's 4:30 and you're going, shit,
Sack
here, I've only
wax.
got half hour.
Yeah.
Then you get the wax out.
He's still not self-conscious and doesn't hate himself.
Yeah. Okay, so I think then that's fair. The sack whack is we've got half an hour left in the day and these boys aren't down. Whoever you can see still high in the sky, just send the trainers around and start dishing out sack whacks.
I think
Make
so.
him line up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no, I
line 'em
think
up.
the unsuspecting sack whack is that you can't have them knowing it's coming.
You tell them, but righto, boys, pack it up, go home, and then as they're walking to the car,
Bang, sack whacks
fuck.
galore.
get back inside, motherfucker. We're
Yeah.
not done.
You can even do
done.
things like hide their keys to like ruin their day.
Yep.
Stuff like
Let
that.
down the air in their tyres.
Slash them.
Yeah,
Slash their
slash
tyres.
Put
tyres.
statuses up on Facebook for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hack their phone.
Yeah.
Hack their phone.
Like, I like eating poo.
That sort of shit. That'll bring you back down.
That'll bring you down real quick.
Dack them.
Yeah.
Dude, a good dacking. Yeah.
Good dacking will fucking sort you out.
So that's how they bounce back up. Because there's only ways up from there.
Yeah.
Look, if that's happening today, Wednesday,
Guaranteed
the whatever,
Tigers win.
I think they win
And win well.
and win well.
13 plus.
Not 13 plus, but I think it'll be a great win.
I think a win for the Tigers is winning well.
Yes.
Well, interesting tactics. I'd love to see if Madge does implore them. But yeah, you don't want to be sitting in cloud nine all it's kind of like flying. Less oxygen up there. You're not going to recover.
It's cold.
Imagine flying for a week straight. You'd be fucked.
You'd be actually fucked. It's like up there smelling your own farts too, because that's what you're doing up there. You think you're great.
Reeks
You're
of
like,
farts up
Mate,
there,
you can't. If you jumped on a plane for 24 hours, flew to England, and then played a game of footy, you'd lose.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine doing that for a week. Can't win. Can't be done.
No.
so get them out of the clouds, Madge. They'll bounce back. Get
That's
a win.
it. That's it.
Who have you got to win this one, Matty?
South by plenty.
Wow.
South by plenty.
That's
Plenty.
a big call.
Ooh.
Wow.
Also, Madge against his old club.
That is
Madge
true.
knows. Madge knows.
They've had recently really tight battles, so I actually think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Great game. But I'm probably going to get South Pipham.
Okay.
South Pipham.
Well,
Fair enough.
Knights versus Eels. Clune returns. Paulo returns. RCG has been named.
I can't. It's
Nice.
unfortunate
Big
for the Knights. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate for the Knights because they need to win, but they've come up against an Eels side that were embarrassed at home against the Tigers on the 75th anniversary.
Yeah.
I think they're fucking.
they're in for a
They're in
bit
for
of
a
burning.
hiding, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Knights need to get a win, and this was why last week was so important to them because
They
they
needed
go
to win
like-
last week and they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
that was against the
And that was against the Dragons.
and they've got Eels and like Penrith and like Roosters or something.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy run that they've got now. So
Not good.
tough gig, but if they can get this win, it will do a world of good for their confidence. But I just think the Eels will be furious for what happened last week,
Mate,
and they're going to come out firing.
Brad Arthur would have been fucking into him yesterday,
Yeah.
mate. Holy shit.
Who are they facing next 2 weeks, Matty?
So they got Eels, then Melbourne.
Fuck. Oof. So they could genuinely start the year 2-6. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 2 and 6.
2 and 6.
2 and 6.
And
After
like all
2-0.
that promise,
Yeah.
all that promise. They looked outstanding at the
Six on the,
stadium.
will be 6 on the trot.
Fuck, I feel sorry for
that.
those
That's
fans.
pretty
Love that.
hectic.
Unfortunately, I think Eels bounce back and bounce back well. Panthers v
I've got a
Raiders.
conspiracy theory just on the Knights. I feel, and the whole Ponga situation, because I'm pretty sure Bulldog Richie of Doesn't Mind a Bit of Mayo himself fame, he was the one who...
Doesn't hate it.
He was the one who broke the whole like mid-game Ponga deal off the table. Could it have been that Ponga was actually maybe leaning a little bit more towards the Knights and it was just purely a Knights ploy to fucking...
Push him into it.
Just to fuck the Dolphins deal.
So what? The Dolphins pull the deal because they think they'll
No, Dolphins didn't,
lower
because
it?
Dolphins didn't pull the deal, right?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So how would it fuck the Dolphins by the Knights pulling the deal?
Because they didn't actually pull the deal. They leak a bullshit story to Dean Ritchie.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so the deal's
then-
not pulled?
No, the deal's not pulled apparently.
well,
Right.
well, News Corp is standing by their story. They're standing by their story.
Right, but of course they are.
So, but how does that negatively affect the Dolphins if he pulls that?
Because it's not actually being pulled, right? So, but Kalen starts to wig out. The Knights go, bro, we didn't pull it. But he's like, well, it's in the media. What's going on? Fuck. Like, let's just make a decision and hurry up and we'll just sign with the Knights. Like,
Yep.
let's not fuck this up.
Oh, so you mean the Knights
Oh,
trying
it's
to
like
make
a
him
push along.
Push
They're try-
along.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
let's make him do
Because
this
we'd
thing.
actually invite the Dolphins like more heavily.
Yeah.
into
Yes,
whatever
exactly. But it's
negotiations.
it's not true. They
I
just
thought the
say
same
it
thing.
to Bulldog. And
I
then
thought
he's
the
like,
same thing. It's like a warning shot of like we need to get this done.
Yeah.
And there's a reality where the contract gets pulled.
But I like that if the clubs were going to go to anyone and give them a bullshit yarn, it seems to be like Bulldogs, like the journo's like scapegoat in that situation.
The thing is,
he gets fed the Barnums.
Someone
Yeah.
must have told him something. Journo's like they do Mayo, but
No, I'm
someone-
not saying he didn't make it. He made
He's
it up.
saying
but
he
they're
was fed a barn.
I'm saying they just they lied.
But
to him.
I'm just saying, like, not in response to that, just in generally, like someone's fed him something
Yes.
that he didn't just make that story
No,
up. Yeah.
absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's been sold some false bullshit at the markets.
It's interesting. But the thing is, I kind of feel like Pong's the kind of guy that will be like, I'm not going to be rushed. Like that's.
But the Knights would go, dude, we didn't say that.
What's the date? Is it June something? June?
Yeah, it's like
30?
June.
End of June.
End of June.
End of
Dude,
June.
so it's got a long time.
It's not that. Yeah.
I thought it was actually the start of June for some reason. Why the fuck? I think
June 30 financial year.
Oh, hang on.
I think it is
I think
the
you're
start.
right. It's the start of June.
It's the start of
So
June.
we've got about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah.
6. Start of June.
Are we in May or April?
We're in April.
Oh,
We're mid-April,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, apologies. I understand, and we've spoken about this already, but I think people that are getting frustrated with Ponga, like, you just need to take a step back and be like, he's not doing anything wrong. Like, he's an employee that is allowed to negotiate with other clubs, and he should be given fair enough time to do that. And just because the media is pushing for the answer because they want the answer doesn't mean that it's right. Sometimes when negotiations happen, the player, very rarely does the player get painted in a positive light.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, he's selfish, he's taking his time. It's a big decision.
You also wonder whether the media actually want him to make a decision, in the sense of going like, they actually don't mind speculating as well. All they need to do is just drum up narrative and yarn, and not announcing it it gives him just as much ammo.
Yeah.
And then when he does whatever,
You're
he does,
right, though. It's a massive fucking decision.
Huge call in his life. He's about
The
to go into
biggest
prime.
of his life.
Yep. Give him some time.
Yeah.
And people might say, well, he's had plenty of time, but it's like, yeah, but you want to have as much information as you can have before the decision.
Yeah,
and
how many losses have we got? How many on the trot are we going to do before I make it? So he's probably given himself up to the date.
Who are we going to sign? Who is coming to the club? Like, whereas the earlier you do the decision, the less information you have on that decision. So no matter what, it's a less informed decision. So yeah, I think, like, I understand why the Knights want to get it done, but I also understand why Ponga is going to take his time and do it right. Because it's his body, man. It's his, like, if he does the wrong decision, like, let's say he goes to Redcliffe and they struggle and they don't make the 8 and it's just a shit fight. Like, that's arguably the best years of his life. That it's going to be shit because he's going to hate his footy at a club that he's not enjoying. So it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. Do you think there's any, like, smokies in the... Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just talking about Dolphins, Knights, but surely there's someone else there that is keen on Ponga.
I thought we were talking about that before, though, with every club's fullback, maybe the Raiders, like, in terms of, like, because their fullbacks aren't humming.
Lying. I really feel sorry for CNK. Like, do you know,
Chance
Klokstad. I feel so sorry for him. Because, like, it was, 12 months ago, he was a hero, and I didn't even think he's been playing that bad, and now he's like, the villain.
No,
He's been dropped.
Outside of the... I think we spent a
spoke
fair
about
bit
the
of
fact
time
that
in the podcast trying to find a side, and no one was really...
Like, coming forward.
Jumping out.
Broncos could, because you don't have a fullback.
Well, I think the Broncos are in a tough position because it's like, okay, we can sign Ponga or we can try and sign him on $1 million or whatever, but we've got Selwyn there who isn't on $1 million and he could be our long-term fullback. So are you pissing off your generational talent in Selwyn to get a guy like,
You've also got Payne Haas who wants big coin.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You can't fucking
He wants
have
that
them all.
big bicky.
We can't have them all.
But it is interesting how, like, really there's been 2 clubs that are really in the race when you would have thought surely there's someone else out there going, look, we'll give him 800k, we'll give him 600k.
Not to talk any shit about Ponga, but, like, there are some people who are saying that currently, obviously you can, it is unquestionable his talent, and you can see the crazy shit he's capable of.
Sure.
But the, like, consistently high level performances that you would connect with the high price tag that he's going to be commanding or asking for, you haven't necessarily seen from him. So maybe some clubs who are going like, well, Panthers have Dylan Edwards, Manly, Tommy Turbo, Roosters, Teddy, fucking Storm, Paps. Like, those players, you could argue, and even someone like Dylan who'd be getting shitloads less than Kalen has been putting up way more consistent and higher standard performances for a longer period of time, where maybe it's like, do we need to move heaven and earth for Kalen?
It's interesting. I think he's a victim of just being really unlucky with injury. He hasn't had an opportunity to
That as
show.
well, yeah.
Like, and also he's had so many different halves pairings. Like, he hasn't been at a stable, like, it's a stable club, but the spine isn't stable.
There's been instability.
a lot of injuries.
was always injured as
Pierce was
well.
always
Yeah,
injured.
yeah.
Brayley has now been injured. Clune has only just arrived to the club. Clifford only just arrived to the club.
Shitloads of injuries up there.
Yeah. So, like, I understand that argument, though. It is fair when you're talking, was it brass tacks? Is that the fucking
Brass
saying?
tacks.
Brass tacks, bruh.
When you're talking that shit and you're looking at, I've got $1 million, I need a player that is going to make me play finals footy. You could argue, like, at the moment, it is risky with Kalen, not because he can't take you to finals footy, because he absolutely can, but is he going to play, 24 games or whatever? I still think he's worth a substantial amount.
Same, dude.
I do
but just more
understand
like
people are
where the
coming from.
clubs maybe
Yeah,
thinking.
for sure. I actually think that there's only probably 3 or 4 players in the comp right now that are actually worth $1 million. I think everyone else, the reason they become worth over $1 million is because of market pressures rather than their value actually falling out to that, you know?
And timing.
Who would you have? Munster, Turbo, Teddy?
Munster, Teddy, Cleary for sure.
Oh, Cleary, yes.
Turbo, like, obviously last year, like massive, incredible year. But when you're talking about like $1 million a year for a 5-year deal or whatever, it still is like you want to see him playing multiple seasons back to back.
Yep.
But I probably would because he's so incredible. Like he's so amazing that, and also I see Turbo as a guy. Maybe I'm, he's such a good bloke. Maybe I'm reading into it too much. But I do see him as a guy. Let's say he does sign a 5-year $1 million deal each year, and by the 3rd year his body is just gone. I don't see him as a bloke that would hang around for those. Now maybe you're crazy to sacrifice that $2 million deal, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like he would be reasonable enough to be like, you know what, like I understand why I may need to take a pay cut or move things around so that I'm not getting. But Tommy for sure is like in the conversation, absolutely. Outside of that though, $1 million, I honestly think that the way I see $1 million is you have to essentially guarantee me finals footy as a player.
Yeah.
You have to go to any club right now and make him a finals
drag
footy
him there.
And drag him there.
Yeah.
And that's the question I believe clubs, again, market pressures make it more. But for example, if, like you could even argue Teddy was at the Tigers, he's much more developed now as a player. But like Cleary, for example, you take him to any club and they're playing finals footy.
Do you reckon Jerome Hughes could do that?
Maybe. He's getting close. Like I'd put Jerome Hughes around the 758, and if they like win another premiership or whatever in the next year or two, I'd probably put him there for sure.
Munster could literally take, and Cleary could take it.
I think so. Like if the Dolphins land Munster, I do believe they'll play finals footy within the first 24 months. Like,
I hope they get him.
Yeah,
for rugby
it'd be
league's
crazy.
sake, I'd love Munster on the with the fish.
For rugby league.
Yeah.
For rugby league.
For rugby league.
For rugby league.
Let money get to the fish.
Storm have already re-signed Hughes, Pap, Grant.
Grant.
Spread the love? Is that what you're saying, Tom?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gun to head, do you think Munster stays or he goes?
Gun to head?
Goes.
I think he stays.
Do you think he stays? He
Yeah.
goes.
Well, it depends on what the Storm offer because they're lowballing the shit out of him now.
Pay cut, not even lowball.
No,
Pay cut.
Yeah, they're offering him. So he's on $1 million. They're like, we'll offer like $750 or something.
Glory speaks.
Tell you what, Andrew Webster wrote a good
Speaks
article
loud and clear.
about.
Although he'd be getting...
He's already done that though.
He's already done it.
but he's also just ripping.
He
dude.
would literally get, he could ask for $1.5 million, I reckon.
That's
And
what I was
reckon
saying
they'd
the
pay
other day. Were we talking about that?
We were.
1.5?
Yeah.
I agree. I honestly agree.
I reckon they'd pay it.
From a start-
Yep, 100.
A startup club
Yeah.
from the Dolphins that are desperate, I honestly think that you could go as hot. I'd say 1.4. Like you get like sponsorship in that, maybe to 1.5. That's how much I do believe like he would be able to attract players to the club, but also make them play finals footy. So and it's crazy that 1.5 like. But when you're starting a club, you just need to make that.
You have to
signing.
do it.
Yeah.
He's a honey pot as well, bro. The bees would come if he was up there. God damn.
Think about how many players would want to go there once he signs that deal.
Mate, instantly. They'd be on the fucking blower to their managers going, get me there, bro.
And also, you add that in, like the Bromwich brothers, Ray Stone, the Jermaine Amasako's there, Kafusi. Like when you add, Wayne. When you add that,
he's a honey pot.
That's a great core to a team.
He's a honey pot.
Like, I don't know. I was quick to the jump before saying he'll stay. I don't know. I really don't know.
Because let's.
Dude, that's a fuckload of money to turn down different.
Let's
And
say
he's already won shit.
He's already
and
won
he's
comps.
from Queensland and he's under Wayne and he's
Had a
got some
kid
old
now,
Storm boys
you
there
know,
with him.
You got to set up the family.
And
Where is
like-
he from in Queensland?
No, he's up from Rocky.
From Rocky.
From
Right.
Rocky. But let's just be conservative and say he's getting offered 1.2 at the Dolphins. Let's just and that is a very reasonable price. That's still around $400,000 to $500,000 pay cut a year, not over a whole contract. Each single year, he's taking nearly $500,000 pay cut to stay at the Storm and win prems. It's a tough gig.
Fuck that.
tough
You're
ask.
in Melbourne as well.
And it's the end of his career-ish, maybe his last big contract. Let's say he signs a 5-year deal.
Oh,
by
it'll be
the time-
last big one,
Yeah,
yeah.
he'll be like 32, 33 by the time it finishes.
He
And
goes.
probably, so interesting times. I mean, what's crazy is I don't think any of us predicted how much a new club would fuck the market. Because everyone negotiating just goes, Dolphins.
Yeah, Dollies are
Imagine
looking
the
at
difference
me.
in negotiations if, for example, Kalen Ponga is negotiating right now. Imagine the Dolphins didn't exist. How different it would be.
Oh, yeah.
How the landscape would be.
I was saying with Munster.
100%.
Like,
Cheese.
Everyone.
Cheese was fucking up there on the pokies.
Fucking oath.
Interesting times.
Wild stuff. Wild stuff.
Panthers Raiders, where are we going, boys?
Ooh, Panthers with a biggie.
I just I find it really hard to tip against the Panthers every week.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Because even when they're
Manly,
down,
like they're just fucking so hot. And Cleary's just so goddamn good, bro. He can control the fucking game whichever way he wants.
Yeah.
he's
Just
like
kick you into submission, just plow you.
And but what's insane is like he has Cooper Cronk's game management. Now I know Cooper Cronk obviously achieved more, but I'm just saying like that style of game management. But then he also has like
Joey defense.
Joey defense. Then
his
he has
defense is ridiculous.
Then he has like a great running game as well. He's like I personally believe that obviously Joey's the GOAT 7, but when you talk about like a complete package of a 7. Like Joey, obviously, he might have better footy IQ and a better passing ability, but when you like rounded out a whole halfback, I don't think you would change anything about Cleary.
There's a lot of like, he's a future great rhetoric getting thrown around at the moment.
Well,
like a shitload of it.
Freddie said that he will be pretty much one of the greats. That was the great Freddy. How Freddy doesn't get talked immortality is surprising to me.
Yeah,
It was pretty incredible like, what he did.
Well, now that they've made changes to how it is structured, I think they bring in 2 every 5 years or 2 every 2. He might be a sniff.
Yeah, okay. Alfie should have been one, I reckon.
Freddie's got Dally M Position of the Year awards in 3 positions.
Fuck.
That's pretty badass.
And one of those positions was like 3 times, so it's crazy.
Far out. It's incredible. Yeah, look, I think Panthers get the job done here.
Yeah.
Cleary is too hot to trot. Dragons, Roosters.
Roosters.
Who, although this game can tend to be pretty close, can't
Yeah,
it?
it's an ANZAC day.
It's the ANZAC Day.
That's the
It'll be
boys
the
are.
SCG. The boys get up and down
Yeah.
up for this.
It'll be close.
Dragons can shock in this fixture.
And they're off the back of a win, but I just think the Roosters are clunky as fuck.
I
this
didn't like
season.
the Roosters last week. Was a bit like
Unconvincing.
very.
I wasn't convinced.
I wasn't convinced
But
at all.
look, I mean, are you asking me to back the Dragons, Eddie?
Dragons are paying $4.
All
Not
I'm
bad value.
saying to you is that there may be value that I'm inviting you to think about.
There'd be
Tom.
$4 is not probably it's good value. $4 is value, but I'm still going to go with the Roosters.
Yeah, I'm going to Roosters. I think eventually it's going to click for the Roosters and they're going to be scary because they're winning games playing pretty, not great footy.
Winning ugly.
Next game, Storm versus Warriors. Now you want to hear about value? Now Warriors actually have a pretty good record against the Storm. They're paying $7, and Warriors, I reckon that's great value.
It's good value, but the Storm are
So hot.
like,
And it's in Melbourne.
the Storm look almost like the most dominant team in the comp. They lost to Parramatta, yes, but just the way they play, just to me is like,
When that spine clicks,
Yeah.
it's like how do you stop that?
yeah.
It's just, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. It's as simple as that. I think that it's Anzac Day as well. It's a special day on the calendar. The boys will be up. Everyone on the field will be up for it.
Oh.
I just think that a Melbourne side up,
Scary side.
fucking frightening.
Yeah.
I think the Warriors, I don't think that they can beat them over 80 minutes. That's what I think.
I think the Warriors are going to really take it to them. I think it's going to be a great match, but I do think the Storm just pip them. But I think people are going to be surprised at how well the Warriors do.
Maybe look at that line. If you're punting,
Yeah, $7, man.
the line will be juicy. The line will be big.
Just for Storm Warriors history, from 2010 to 2015, the Warriors beat Storm more times, which is crazy.
That's what I mean. They have a good record against the Storm. I don't know what it is. When we played them, we drew them.
But since 2016, Storm haven't lost to them. So it's,
If you go back and look at a lot of their matches, they're relatively close, I'm pretty sure. Well, most of them anyway.
Yep.
But, yeah, look, great game. Great Monday of footy. Great Monday of footy.
Huge.
Do you guys, boys, have anything coming up? Any merch drops? Any of the good stuff?
Do we?
We do.
Oh, yeah, we do,
We do.
actually. We do.
We are, well, like there is a merch drop coming up, but the next merch drop is
It's a stock clearance. We got some.
it's a clearance sale.
The best kind. The best kind.
Because we
Dribblers
all
love clearance.
Oh no, dribblers love clearances. We've got the old bounce out trackies. Do we? Getting rid of
Bounced
those.
out trackies,
The
last
of the
dribble
last dribble
t-shirts,
tees.
and the Manly 13 pluses, a small restocking. This will be the last time they're done, this season at least. Getting well.
Because they sold out like that, didn't they?
like that.
So
So they sold it like that at the live show. They sold it like that online, and there's a small little restock. So getting while the getting's good, but the bounced out trackie is great for winter. Get around, and the
They
last
actually
dribble
are really
tee,
good.
fucking oath, how good's that? And then the Manly 13 pluses. So clearance sale ish.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Will
It'll be next
confirm.
week.
Next
And
week,
then
yeah.
there will be another merch drop after that. Keep your eyes peeled. It's
hats and hoodies.
Hats and hoodies.
And this will be your first
Really
footies.
close. It's a ripper.
They look good.
Oh, baby. It's special.
We're going to get you a quadruple extra large.
Yeah, do you reckon I can get any merch or not?
Well,
you can pay for it like everyone else. Hats and hoodies, bro. It's a special drop.
Would you? Because that's your classic that you got on right now. Would you say it's on par with that?
Well,
The
it's
combo,
the summer tan hat.
It's the summer tan into the hoodie, which no one's seen.
When you say summer tan, you're talking like light brownish?
Yeah, so the summer tan Hello Sport hat's coming back. We did that one again last year. That sold out in, I think, less than a second.
18 hours.
Was it less than a second?
Well, the hat sold out in 12 hours. Gone.
But so we're restocking the hats, and then the hoodie's brand new.
But I'll give you the hot tip. You wearing the hat with the hoodie,
Yeah.
guaranteed a root.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Guy or girl, doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
All right, guys, make sure next Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday around 6 o'clock-ish, probably.
Yep.
Be there. If they sell out, they're gone. And especially the Manly 13 plus. When they're gone, they're gone.
the clearance sale, that's it, bro.
Yeah.
When they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone. And you're not doing those bounced out again because that was a nightmare to fucking do that for you guys.
That was a nightmare. Still wake up.
They're the OGs, those
Dude, they're mad. Like,
Yeah.
you
They're the
want to have a pair of them in
They're
the
the last
cupboard.
of the things with the old logo on there as well.
Yeah.
So
That's a collector's item. That's a collector's
Collector's
item. Anyway, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. Go to your local, ask to order via ALM, ILG, all that good stuff. Or go to our shop, bloke.shop. We've got merch on there. Hats, socks, shirts, whatever you want. As usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.